visit our newest branch at Mansu Kenyago around the police station, and of course our headquarters at Antwerp Chrome. Find other branches at Mansu Kwanta, Mansu Edubia, Mansu Datano, Bekwai, Anyang Kwanta, Akrokeri, Roman Hill, Asim, Ahojo Atinga Junction, Santasi, and also Sofo Line. Amanse Community Bank PLC, your reliable financial partner.
For their support, we'd like to say a very big thank you to Seppo Mystical Pen. You get to write effortlessly with Seppo Mystical Original Pen. Enjoy smooth, precise, smudge-free lines every time you write that letter to a special someone, or even your exams you pass exceptionally well. Get yours today in blue, black, or red. Locate Seppo products at Paul Sego Lane, Kumasi, and Okaishi, Accra for bulk purchases. Seppo Mystical Original Pen, your #1 choice for premium writing.
Now stop watching travel videos and start living in them kind see the sea travels. Experience the wild beauty of Kenya and the glamour of Dubai from September 10 to 16, 2026. Or join our China Canton Fair Business Expedition from October 26 to November 9, 2026. Now we'll handle your flight, your hotel reservation, breakfast, visa support, airport transfers, tours, and tourism tax, all stress-free. Visit the sea travels today at Ahonjo Atinga Junction in Kumasi. We are right opposite the DHL office.
Everywhere make hot still, but man for enjoy. For your parties, funerals, family day outs, and any social gatherings, grab a bottle of Bigo drinks today. It can be in cola, grape, orange, coconut, pineapple, apple, lemon, and cocktail flavors. Get a chilled, affordable bottle of Bigo Cola at 80 supermarkets nationwide or even in traffic. Bigo is another quality product from Trillium Industrial Company Limited in Ghana. Bigo, big refreshing moments.
Now, if you're planning to get married or propose to that beautiful lady and you don't know where to get that engagement ring, worry no more. Make your way right now to St. Ben Jewelry. Now we have quality, elegant, affordable white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, and silver rings. Get your earrings, bracelets, watches, and all accessories at St. Ben's Jewelry. We also polish your old ornaments for you and offer you special flexible payment plans. Locate us in Kumasi at Amekom, opposite Edward Nasser Building, and also in Edum. Find us inside the Chelsea House, opposite the Standard Chartered Bank. St. Ben's Jewelry, just dream it, and of course we will do it for you.
Now let me also tell you about New Generation Investment Services, that is NGIS. They're currently they offer managed investments, assist with pension planning, and manage tier 2 and tier 3 pensions. Secure your future with Enedaswo Mutual Fund, NGIS Market Fund, and private funds. Talk to our seasoned advisors today about your investment goals and aspirations. NGIS is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. NGIS, we say, achieving excellent returns on your investments.
Now it is time to prepare your students smarter with books from Tamak. Yes, we have Tamak questions and answer textbooks for you. It is packed with current BEC past questions, answers, marking schemes, exam tips, and strategies for all subjects. Tamak questions and answer booklets helps boost the confidence level of every student who is preparing for the BEC. Locate Tamak in Kumasi and Accra.
And to Otuasekan Community Bank, we say a very big thank you. And this particular bank has the right accounts just for you, including current, savings, fixed deposits, SUSU, and infant savings accounts. Enjoy affordable salary, SUSU, business, funeral, group loans, or more at low interest rates. We also offer Western Union, eSwitch, iTrans, mobile money, and Ghana Pay services. Locate Otuasekan Community Bank at Kofiase, Mampong, Ejura, Sepebokrom, Abofo, Makro, Nkenkenso, Swame Market, and Dr. Mensa. Otuasekan Community Bank, your savior in community banking.
Okay, Becca, there's more, but let's hand over to David right now because the game is about to start. This is still the Love FM Kel Chako Two-Face High Schools debate.
Call it a game, call it a battle. It's just about to begin here at the auditorium at the Christian Service University. Please put your hands together for all the sponsors supporting and assisting us to bring to you the 2026 edition of the Love FM Kel Chako Toothpaste High Schools debate. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I'd like to introduce to you the patron and also the chairperson for the Love FM High Schools debate. She is an educationist, a youth and marriage counselor, a preacher, a mentor, and a philanthropist. Now, she's counseled the youth and students since 1978. Many of you were not born, I'm sure. Now, she's a renowned marriage counselor, an educationist. She has over 55 years of experience both in Ghana and abroad. Now, she's a former assistant headmistress of Kumasi High School and also the former headmistress of KNUST Junior High School between the years 1992 to 2008. She's a co-founder and the principal of Jackson University College, which offers 1-year postgraduate diploma in education, masters and MPhil in maths, English, guidance, and counseling. They also give some education in educational leadership and administration and B.Ed programs. In partnership with NIIT India, they offer many technology programs. Now, her passion is to instill moral training to the youth in order to transform society. Now, she is married to Professor Ebenezer Asafua Jackson, and by the grace of God, they have 4 adult children: Daniel, Emmanuel, Nora, and Ebenezer. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mrs. Theodosia Wilhelmina Jackson, the patron and also the chairperson for the Love FM High School's debate. Ma'am, thank you very much for joining us. We're eternally grateful to you. Now, what we're about to witness this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, will be contest 3 and contest 4. Like I always say to you when I have the opportunity, this is an intellectual exercise. Now, Dr. Peter Arthur, our lead judge, will be giving you the rules of engagement and how they score shortly. But for those of you watching us on television, on Joy Prime or Joy Learning, watching us on Facebook, Twitter, or let's say YouTube, or listening to us on radio, these young debaters have done their own research. And based on their findings, they'll be speaking to some institutions or some individuals. Whatever you hear, don't take it personal. Don't think that somebody has paid somebody to come and run you under a bus. No. It's what they've been able to put together that they are pouring out as a debate. With that said, let me take this opportunity to introduce to you a panel of judges. Today we have 3 strong men. Yes, we had a lady and 2 men. Today we have 3 strong men. Maybe going forward we'll have 3 beautiful women join as judges. One of our judges goes by the name Johnson Jomo Bewa. He's an English tutor at a higher institution. Now, he's taught English for 15 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Johnson Jomo Bewa. And that's him there. Thank you very much, Johnson, for joining us. Also with us as one of our judges for today's competition, we have Dr. Ernest Obeng. He's a lecturer here at the Christian Service University. He is with the Accounting and Finance Department. He also joins us. He was here with us yesterday. He is again joining us this afternoon. Good to have you, sir. The last judge for today, many people call him Pierrot. Others call him the empiricism man. He is Dr. Peter Arthur, and he is our lead judge. Now, he's a former head of Department of English, KNUST. Also former head of Department of Language and Communication Science, KNUST. He's a textual analysis and a textual analyst. He's right here with us as well. Please put your hands together for him. Now, having introduced him to you, I would like for him to join us as he tells us about the rules of engagement and how the judges will be scoring. It is in your own interest to take whatever he shares with you very seriously, as it goes a long way to determine whether you win or lose. Before he grabs the microphone, show him some love one more time for me with a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Madam Chair, please permit me to give the rules of the game. We have 5 parameters, and I'll take you through them. And I want you to pay particular attention to them. This is our language. And if you don't understand anything, you come to us using the same language. We are not doing emotion. No, there's no emotional judgment here. So please listen. We have organization and clarity, arguments and development, effective use of rebuttal, effective presentation style, and role as a particular debater. Of course, with organization and clarity, we are expecting a very good introduction. And by a very good introduction, we mean a good hook. Something that is catchy. Something that you can even give us a shocker. What we call the shocking effect. To wake everybody up to listen to what you are saying. Then after that, you can go on and give us the key concepts of the topic that you are going to treat. Then after that, we expect you to give us the thesis statement, what exactly you are about to say. I think you go with that. Good. Now, the first speaker is going to have 15 marks for that, and the second speaker is going to have 10 marks for that, and the one who is coming to do the summary is going to have 5 marks for that. Then we come to argument and development. Listen carefully. You are arguing. Now, let me sum it up this way. First, we have what we call the causal chain. Now, with the causal chain, what it means is that A automatically should produce the effect B. Now, we have two types. We have the sufficient cause and then the necessary cause. With the necessary cause, A automatically, naturally gives birth to B. But with a sufficient cause, it means that there are probabilities. So, if you are listening carefully and he is treating B as a necessary cause, then you have some work to do. Now, the other one is that we have what we call procedural chain. We deal with steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, conclusion. So what it means is that if you make a point, that point is a conclusion. Now, if we find that the steps you use in arriving at that conclusion is wrong, it means your conclusion is wrong. I'll give you an example. If I have to direct anybody here, I say, go to Santasi roundabout, step 1. 10, if you are coming from, let's say, Asukwa, 10 left, the road towards Obuasi, that is step 2. You get to the major branch, 10 right, step 3. Count 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. The fourth one is Christian service, that is step 4. Look, if you miss any of these steps, I will get lost, isn't it? So it's the same thing. Be very clear in your argument. And here too, we have 15 for the first speaker. Now, for the 15, each point you try to analyze will give you 3 points. Yes, we'll give you just like the first one. Then the second speaker is having 10 marks. It's the same procedure. You mention a point, you are able to defend it, 3 marks. The same thing. Of course, the summary is 5. Then effective use of rebuttal. Let's go back again. Let's go back. You have the causal chain. And if you don't pay attention to the causal chain, it is your duty to identify the type of problem there. Don't throw about the terminologies. Tell us the problem over there. So, you have to tell us whether it is sufficient that has been treated as a necessary, or you have to tell us that there's a missing step and you identify the step. Now here, the first speaker is having 5 marks. The second speaker is having 10. And there is no mark for the summary. Okay. But the first speaker, when he comes to do the summary, can do rebuttals. Then presentation of style. Please be gentle. Don't be aggressive. You understand? This is a friendly game. And don't rush. Those of you who like rattling, you rattle, ba, 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 ba. No. If you do that, you'll be counted out. Let me repeat, please, for the coaches. If anybody comes here and starts babbling and rattling and mumbling and gets excited as if he or she is possessed, he's not part of it. You can do whatever you want to do. You are not part of our team. Please take note of that. For this, the first speaker is taking 8 marks, and then the second is 5 marks, and the second speaker is taking 10. And then presentation style, 8 marks. The second speaker is taking 5. The summary is supposed to be 2. And then role as a particular debater. This is simple. First speaker, speak like a first speaker. Second speaker, speak like a second speaker. You are only a supporter. So the onus lies on the first speaker to speak efficiently, effectively, cogently, and straightforwardly. The first speaker is taking 5 marks, and the second speaker is taking 3, and the summary 2. Now let's get the rules quickly. The principal speaker on the affirmative team presents argument in support of the motion, 10 minutes. And then the principal speaker on the opposing team presents argument opposing the resolution, 10 minutes. Then the second speaker on the affirmative team presents further argument in support of the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the opposition speaker, 7 minutes. Then the second speaker on the opposing team presents further arguments against the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the previous affirmative speaker, 7 minutes here. And then the principal speaker on the affirmative team comes with closing statements on their argument without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals if there is any, 5 minutes. Then the principal speaker on the opposing team comes with closing statement to their arguments without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttal if necessary. 5 minutes for that. Note, speakers must be very audible in their presentation, and there cannot be any interruption, and speakers must wait for their turn. Principal speaker must read 5 points, and then supporting speakers must raise 3 points. There are other rules. He who asserts must prove. In order to establish an assertion, the team must support it with enough facts and evidence. And note that facts and evidence must be accurate. And then examples of visual materials are permissible. And once introduced, they become available for the opponent's use if so desired. Tangible evidence must be tendered as exhibits to support facts. And then in rebuttals, the debater rebutting may ask any constructive and clear question that has a direct bearing on the point raised. And the one rebutting must confine him or herself to questions and not to make statements, comments, or ask rhetorical questions. Support from both sides are to exercise discipline, not to induce, frustrate, or intimidate debaters in any form. Failure would attract deduction of marks from the team. Debaters must respect time. If you are bailed out, you must end your presentation. Otherwise, you lose some marks. Now, in the event of a tie, the 2 schools involved will be given a motion to debate within 24 hours. Note, the score of one judge cannot overturn that of the 2 judges. Therefore, what it means is that there is either a majority decision from the judges, meaning 2 judges out of the 3 scored for a school, or there could be also a unanimous decision, meaning all 3 judges scored for the school. All issues must be addressed to the moderator, and reporting time for contest is 12:30 p.m. Failure to adhere to this will lead to a disqualification. Thank you.
Just like yesterday, he refuses to say, I am done. Because oftentimes when he says, I'm done, I'm like, no, but your name is Peter, Pierrot. Please put your hands together for our lead judge there for me. And I just want to touch on a few things and then we will start the competition this afternoon. He talks about the fact that you should be comfortable on the stage. It's not for nothing why we're giving the principal speaker 10 minutes. This is not a rap battle. Don't come and rap. Don't come and rattle. Communicate, be audible. And that goes to the debaters. Again, debaters, have at the back of your mind that, the timekeeper is here for you. All right? So when you're halfway through your presentation, you will hear this. But when your time is entirely up, this is what you hear. And the lead just told you that at every moment, stop whatever you do because it could take away some marks from you. Ladies and gentlemen watching us on our socials on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, let's get interactive. When the debate begins, you have something you want to share with us, drop it there. Patricia and Becca will read them out. Thank you very much for making time to watch us on television, Joy Prime, and Joy Learning. Thank you very much for listening to us on radio on Love 99.5. It's now time for the competition to begin. Mansek. Are you awake or you asleep? Please be awake for me. Mansek. Mansek. Great Mansek. Abuadifo. Whether you're here to conquer or otherwise, please stand on your feet and get ready to sing for us your school anthem. Uncle Francis Drury will help you. Now, he has recorded or pre-recorded your anthem already. What he's here to do to help you is to play your anthem for you, and then you sing along. Are you ready to sing? Are you ready to sing your school anthem? Yes. Then on 3. Francis, you ready? Okay, so 1, 2, go. Together for your own selves. You sang your anthem beautifully with energy and all the beautiful voices you have. At this point in time, let's welcome your debaters. Rostinal Enso is the principal speaker. Isaac Akua Mensah is the supporting speaker. Make some noise. Let's welcome them. Okay. Are you cool? Let's go to Ibadur Rahman Academy. Ibas. 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 Please stand for me too. Uncle Francis Drew is ready with your anthem. Clear your throat, clear your throats. Yeah, I like that. Are you ready to sing for us a school anthem? With all the energy you can master? With smiles on your faces, because Kel Chaco Toothpaste says you need to have a happy smile? Okay then, Francis, on 3. 1, 2, go.
Ibadur Rahman, our motto, our song. We shall be the nation's pride. We shall work from dawn to dusk to uphold justice and integrity with
Well, this is one of the longest school anthems I have heard, but also one of the finest. Assalamu alaikum. Well, let me now invite their debaters, and I'm talking about Ibadur Rahman Academy. The debaters are Talisma Awudu, the principal speaker, and Haria Masawood, the supporting speaker. Please show them some love. Okay, so this is the motion the two schools are about to debate on. ECG should be privatized. And I can attest to the fact, I can tell you that staff of ECG are listening. Because when we posted the motion, some of them asked me a few questions. And all I said to them was, pay attention to the debaters. Listen to us on radio on Love 99.5. Watch us on our socials on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Or watch us on television on Joy Prime or Joy Learning. So to all the ECG staff, both here in Kumasi and everywhere in Ghana, the debate is about to begin. Madam Chairperson, do we have your blessing to start? She's giving the thumbs up. Please put your hands together for the debaters. And let me call on the principal speaker for Mankranso, Rostinal, and so to begin the debate. Rostinal, over to you.
Dumso has been a familiar thing to Ghanaians. Even Gogo is familiar to Dumso. I will be surprised to know that if my opponent, they still have light. With this, my colleagues came with their torchlight because Ghana have been experienced periods of light outs. Today, if we all can recall, few days ago, Ghana was in total darkness. With this, I say the chair, impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, distinguished guests, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good day. My name is Rosinal Insol, a first-year student of Mankranso Senior High School, applauding for Rice family to speak in favor of the motion, quote, ECG should be privatized, unquote. When electricity fails, it is never merely light out. It is a patient whose treatment is interrupted. It is a food spoiling in a cold store. It is a saloon, tailor, or welder losing productive hours. For clarity, the chair, please permit me to explain the key terms in this motion. According to ECG official website, ECG refers to the Electricity Company of Ghana, responsible for distributing electricity to consumers within its operational mandate. The chair, please permit me to rebut some points. The opposition may argue that private investors only care about profit. Profit becomes useful when it is tied to performance. Let profit be the reward for service, not the reward for failure. The chair, they may also argue that privatization will make electricity unaffordable. If inefficiency is already unaffordable, ECG losses, unpaid bills, and debt eventually become higher risks. The chair, back to my main stand. Point 1, privatization will reduce technical, commercial, and revenue losses. A distribution utility survives by doing one thing only. It must convert electricity supplied into revenue collected, but because of poorly management by the public entity, ECG has struggled with this: power losses on its network, illegal connection, and unmetered meters. If electricity is stolen and not billed, ECG has to pay generators for the power it bought. When it cannot recover the money from consumers, it has less cash to repair transformers. Repair fault, the whole system weakens. As the saying goes, a wise man is the one who proportions his belief to evidence. Evidence shows that in 2024, Ghana Facts reported that ECG's losses of financial and transmission stood at about 32%. The same report states that PULC regulatory system exceeded the level 21.4%. My adorable audience, do you know the most interesting part? A private operator can never transfer losses back to the government. The House, do not be deceived, because government, the World Bank states, quote, ECG operational and financial performance is critical to the sustainability of the entire energy sector. It is very heartbreaking to know that ECG losses do not end at ECG. They travel to the generators, consumers, and eventually to the government. The government faces financial burden because when ECG loses power, Ghana loses money. When Ghana loses money, the ordinary consumer eventually pays. Point 2, the chair, private participation will bring the investment and expertise ECG urgently needs. Ghana's demand for electricity is growing with urbanization, population, digital business, and industrial expansion. ECG must constantly replace aging equipment and expand its network. It must finance education. However, government faces difficult challenges. It must finance roads, healthcare, agriculture, and many more. It is therefore unfair to expect an ordinary taxpayer to fund all the modernization ECG needs, especially when ECG itself is losing money. While a private operator can mobilize funds for smart prepaid meters, the state does not have to surrender control. It can require the operator to invest an amount of money annually. If the investor fails, government can impose penalty or terminate the agreement. For goodness sake, ECG does not only need a new manager, it needs financial muscles to modernize it. The chair, point 3, a private operator can be held to clearer service and customer care standards. The important test of an electricity is the experience of the consumer. Does it issue correct bills? Can customers report problems? Does it communicate honestly during power outages? The House, let all reflect on these questions. A business will just lose an income during a prolonged power outage without receiving any explanation for it. The House, isn't it surprising that our lights are still on? Because few days ago, Ghana was in total darkness. Even Mankranso, where my school is located, have been facing lots of power outages. Due to it, students have not been able to learn. With this, Millennium Challenge Corporation Ghana Power Compact has supported electricity quality and reliability with a huge sum of $311 million, eventually far greater than a family's inheritance. Ladies and gentlemen, privatization will contain service level requirements such as maximum time to respond to faults. The chair, it will also provide a 24 customer service system, clear deadlines for new customer service. For crying out loud, Ghanaians do not need a press statement when there is power outage. What we need is electricity, an electricity which will never interrupt a patient treatment, an electricity which will never spoil our food stored in a cold store. Point 4, the chair, privatization will promote payment discipline and reduce political interference. A public electricity distributor can become vulnerable to interfere. Political actors, state institutions, and influential consumers may delay payments because they believe that the state will eventually absorb the debt. Yet, a household that cannot even pay faces immediate light out. The chair, electricity must never be delivered to the powerful who refuses to pay, and not to the powerless. My audience, don't be panicked, for privatization is here to save you from light out. A professional private operator is more likely to apply the same rules to every consumer. It can offer repayment plans and schedule. Electricity can never be free for the powerful and expensive for the powerless. The poor market trader who is struggling to buy small prepaid bills cannot be subsidized to the depths of an institution that consumes a larger amount of electricity. Point 5, the chair, a financially healthy ECG is essential for Ghana's economic stability. ECG is a central link in the electricity value chain. It buys power from generators and sells it to customers. If it fails to collect revenue, if generators are not paid, They will struggle to buy fuel, maintain equipment, or invest in new capacity. Thus, ECG's inefficiency can go a long way to distract the power sector. The effects spread to business, employment, and national productivity. IMF noticed that Ghana's annual energy sector shortfall could reach $2.2 billion if care is not taken. Private management is not a magic wand. It is a key that opens the door to sustainability, such as lower losses. When ECG collects enough money, it can pay suppliers. When suppliers are paid, the power system is stable. When the power system is stable, businesses can flourish. The chair to conclude. The status quo is not neutral. It costs our motherland money, confidence, and opportunity. We propose a regulated, transparent, and accountable model, which is privatization. For this reason, I humbly urge this honorable house to support the motion, quote, ECD should be privatized, unquote. Thank you.
Dr. Atta, imagine a patient walks into her hospital. The doctors examined the patient and discovered that the patient is seriously ill. The patient is weak and fallen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, imagine somebody stood up and said, the patient is failing, therefore we must sell the hospital. Could that be a solution? Obviously, no. The reasonable question to ask is that, what is wrong? What treatments are required? What resources are needed? And if the hospital lacks expertise, we bring in expertise. Mommy, that is exactly how we must approach ECG. Yes, ECG has problems. Yes, ECG faces financial difficulties. Yes, ECG struggles in collection of revenue, system losses, and poor management. Adjudicators, I'm going to sound a bit technical, so pay attention. A struggling institution does not automatically need a new ownership. It sometimes needs better management, investment, new technology, and professional expertise. And sometimes it needs all these four. Dr. Atta, let me shock you. ECG owns reports reformed that 40% increase in revenue collection and 50% reduction in headquarters overhead costs. Adjudicators, if this reform can improve management, then the question before the house shouldn't simply be, is ECG failing? It must be, why should ECG have a private owner before it can perform better? That is a question Abodenfo must answer. Adjudicators, when Abodenfo mount this podium, they must provide answers to the following questions. Prove that Ghana's regulatory precondition genuinely exists. Prove that Ghana's regulatory still exists. Prove that their mechanism avoid failures of 2019. Prove that the poor will not be abandoned. And prove that Parliament retain real oversize. Greetings to the young-looking chair, bold, impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, high abording for ladies and gentlemen, good day. Representing the blessed land of knowledge, Ibadur Rahman Academy, I am Taslima Audu, the principal speaker to firmly oppose the motion. ECG should be privatized. End of quote. Adjudicators, key term. ECG is a state-owned company that distributes electricity to the southern part of Ghana. Privatized is when a public company is turned into a private ownership. Adjudicators, sources, Wikipedia. The chair, my supporting speaker and I provide the House with the 4 R's that can be used instead of privatizing ECG. Dr. Atta, count with me. Retain strategic ownership. 2, reform the institution. 3, recreate private expertise and capital. And 4, regulate the sector effectively rather than changing ownership. First point, privatization reduce access for the poor. The chair, a private profit-focused ECG planning to build its next transformer. Does it choose from a rural farming area in the northeast region where revenue per connection is low and distances are long, or an industrialized area in Tema estates where revenues return faster and shareholders are watching? Adjudicators, we are not saying that private ownership are not capable, but what we are saying is their goals are structurally different from public service mandates. A privatized ECG would always choose an industrialized community over a low-income community, leaving the government to continue paying subsidies, the very leverage it just gave away. Adjudicators, Ghana's commitment to universal energy access under the Sustainable Development Goals requires coordinated public planning, not fragmented. The chair, my opponent has built a beautiful house, but it has no foundation for the village that isn't profitable enough to matter. Point 2, panel of adjudicators, privatization. Point 2, panel of adjudicators, privatization leads to loss of strategic control and national sovereignty. It wasn't the opposition or a protesting union that ended the PDS deal in 2019. It was the government of Ghana itself. Among the reasons they gave were national security reasons. The deal collapsed when the financial guarantees backing it were found to be fraudulent. Adjudicators, when the financial deals surrounding it were found to be fraudulent. Adjudicators, if the same governments proposing privatization were to reverse it due to national security reasons, how sure are we that it won't collapse again? The chair, electricity distribution is not like selling cocoa or gold. It is a nervous system of a modern country. Handing over the control of it, even partly, is not just a business transaction. It is like handing over the sovereignty of a country. The chair, you do not sell a nervous system of a country and call it foreign investment. It's called risks. We watch Ghana survive once and will not gamble again. To my third point, panel of judges, electricity experience shows that institutions matter, not change in ownership. Dr. Atta, for perfection and clarity, let me read this one for you. The Millennium Challenge Cooperation Evaluation of Ghana's ECG Financial and Operational Turnaround Project found that the planned private sector concession was terminated in 2019 before the intended long-term private management mechanism could produce its expected effects. The evaluation consequently found that the project did not achieve its intended improvement in the utilities' financial and operational performances through that mechanism. The chair, there's an even more interesting lesson. The same program invested in physical electricity is invested in network improvement. The chair, what lessons should Ghana learn? Not that private ownership is bad and not that government ownership is perfect. The lesson is that electricity distribution depends on infrastructure, regulation, construct, not merely on who owns the utility or aboarding for. The chair, to my fourth point, panel of adjudicators, privatization can create private monopoly, not necessarily competition. The opposition may say that private ownership creates competition and competition will improve services. Electricity distribution is fundamentally different from selling shoes, phone, or food. The chair, a consumer cannot just wake up and say, I don't like this ECG network connection. I'm switching to another ECG electricity wires. The chair, I'm switching to another ECG electricity wires. That is why Ghana has a specialized framework regulating the distribution of electricity. So the real responsibility is not necessarily public monopoly. It could instead become private regulated monopoly. Judges, competition for concession is not the same as competition for consumer. To my fifth and final point, panel of adjudicators, ECG's problem does not prove that privatization is the solution. The chair, Dr. Atta, we will not say that ECG is perfect. ECG itself acknowledges its challenges, including inadequate revenue collection, poor management, and system failure. But something more important happened. Electricity Owns Report reform in 2025 produced that 40% increase in revenue collection and 50% reduction in headquarters overhead costs. What does this tell us? It tells us that the management reform can produce measurable improvements without first transferring its ownership. We are not saying that ECG is completely fixed. We are saying something more modest and more defensible. Adjudicators, if the problem is poor infrastructure, improve the infrastructure. If the problem is insufficient revenue, invite private revenue. If the problem is lack of technology, bring in technology. Why should Ghana use a giant instrument called privatization to solve a problem that has different solutions? The chair, changing the ownership does not automatically change the management. Before I resume my seat, Dr. Atta, allow me to tender in some rebuttals. The chair, my opponent talk about doomsday being caused by public ownership. The chair, doomsday is not caused by public ownership. Doomsday is caused by neglect, poor planning, poor management. Adjudicators, poor management. Trust me when I tell you that all these problems can be solved without selling our country's sovereignty. The chair, she also said that. She also talked about poor management. So ECG should be prioritized. Adjudicators, as I said, poor management can be solved. If it is poor management, we can solve it without selling our country's sovereignty. She also made mention of government suffers burden because ECG financial causes. Yes, even if we give the company to a private ownership and they gain their profit and leave the problem, we are the same taxpayers to pay it. It's the same government that will pay it. It's the same government's burden. It is the same financial burden that they have. It is the same financial burden on the government. Adjudicators, we will not sell the company today. We will not sell the company tomorrow. We will reform it. We will reform it. We will repair it. We will save our country's sovereignty. Young looking chair, I rest my case.
The chair, distinguished educators, our great timekeeper, ladies and gentlemen, good day. But it's not good as we all see. It seems everything looks blurry. The chair, could you imagine that when I'm coming here, I came with my torchlight, but I refused it. But I have even sent someone to go and buy petrol for me for my generator. Because this our opponent wants us. This our opponent do not want us to enable to study our qualification. The chair, without wasting much time, permit me to introduce myself. I am a first-year student, Isaac Akuwa Mensah, the proud supporting speaker speaking undeniably for the motion with one clear responsibility: to strengthen the case presented by my dearest principal speaker, exposes weaknesses in the opposition arguments. The chair, before I proceed to lay my golden eggs, permit me to rebut and bury some points our opponents made. First, our opponents made mention of when electricity is handed to the government, the private investors, when the electricity handed to the private companies, the investors will only care about profit. But let me tell you, it seems listening is the skills you guys forgot before coming here. An investor earns an income when he distributes electricity efficiently, repair faults, and the strongest concession contracts can punish poor reward. The chair, our opponent also made mention of the PDS concession failed, so the participation cannot work. Let me tell you something. PDS demonstrates the importance of proper due diligence, and also know that do not protect public money without protecting public interest. It's like saving your salary but letting your house burn. The chair, now our golden eggs is about to crack. It seems Ibadur Rahman Academy is doing Ramadan fasting, but still they want to use our golden eggs. Oh no, please relax. Do what Alice wants, okay? Point 1, privatization can improve safety, maintenance, and accountability. The chair, when electricity fails, darkness is inconvenient. But when an electricity infrastructure fails, the consequences can be deadly. The chair, Ghana has experienced related electrical fires, destruction of properties, and loss of lives. This incident should force us to ask fundamental questions. Are we managing our electricity distribution system as efficiently and safely as we should? The Ghana National Fire Service has repeatedly identified electrical faults, faulty wirings, illegal connection, and related electrical problems among causes of fire outbreak. The chair, this is where privatization enters the debate. A privately operated ECG under a strict government regulation would have stronger commercial incentive to 1. Invest in modern distribution infrastructures, 2. Improve maintenance, 3. Strengthen mentoring system, 5. Reduce technical losses, 6. Respond and faster to force and enforce safety standards more efficiently. The chair, under a properly designed privatization arrangement, the government does not simply hand ECG away and work without prudent regulation. Government becomes the regulator while the private operator becomes responsible for performance. The regulator can establish measurable requirements for 1. Safety, reliability, response time, investment, loss reduction, customer service, etc. If the operator fails, it can face penalties, loss of its operating license, contractual sanction, or other regulatory consequences. Point 2, the chair, our opposition may also argue that electricity is an essential public service and it should therefore remain in public. But let me tell you, we agree on the first point. Electricity is essential, but it does not follow what government must perform every operational task itself. Ghana already has a sector regulator, which is PURC, which regulates electricity tariffs in the regulated market. The IMF described electricity as selling electricity at tariff rates established by the PURC. This means privatization does not automatically permit a company to charge any tariffs it wants. PURC can continue to set or approve tariffs and enforce consumer standards. Point 3, privatization replaces hidden taxpayers' costs with measurable performance. The chair, the opposition will say private companies seek profit. That is true, but private itself is not the problem. The question is whether private is earned by delivering better service or whether loses. Better loses. The chair, permit me to feed you some scenario. Can you imagine when I enter this podium and there is a lights out? Then I bring generator and I told everybody to contribute 5 cedi to buy the petrol. The chair, will your expectation will be on my profit or the? Will your expectation will be on my profit or will your expectation will be how I will distribute the electricity efficiently? To conclude, the chair, a burnt building does not merely leave ashes, it leaves questions. Questions about maintenance, questions about safety, questions about accountability, and most importantly, questions about whether our electricity distribution system is being managed in the best possible way. We are not asking the House to trust private investors blindly. We are asking, thank you.
Matthew, should electricity, a basic necessity and a public service, should be treated as a source or as a business for profit or as a public service that must be remain accessible to every Ghanaian? My opponents have confused the possibility of private sector success with the necessity of privatizing ECG. Doctor, privatization is not the same as private sector participation. Ghana can invite capitals, constructors, technology providers, and management expertise without necessarily selling ECG or transferring control of ECG. The chair, my elegant principal speaker has already established that ECG needs reform, not change of ownership. Therefore, I'll argue further by examining the evidences from Ghana, the regulatory framework, and the experiences of other countries. So, doctor, these evidences tell us something. Pay attention. It tells us that private sectors can work, public utilities can work, but poorly governed utilities can fall under either ownership structures. So the real issue is not simply who owns ECG. The real issue is how is ECG governed, structured, managed, regulated, and held accountable. To you, the ever-wise chairperson, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, colleagues, debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly acknowledge good day. Representing the land of academicians and the nobles, Ibadur Rahman Academy, I am Khairiya Masood, the colleague speaker to firmly oppose the motion, quote, ECG should be privatized, unquote, adjudication panel. Here are additional points to solidify our stance. Now, point 6, the chair and the house. Corruption risks during the process itself is a threat. My opponents may have missed an important point, Dr. Arthur. The danger of privatization is not only what happened after the sale, it's in the sale itself. Pay attention, my opponents. The PDS deal did not fail because of poor management after the takeover. It failed because the financial guarantees behind the whole deal were fraudulent, a failure of due diligence, meaning proper checking right after the signing. Matthew, this is exactly why we say that competitive bidding and independent valuation, the checks meant to make a sale fair, means nothing if the verification behind them is weak. Dr. Arthur, my opponents are assuming that the ECG should remain exactly as it is, or the new sale will look cleaner than the last one, without showing us any new safeguard to make sure of it. Sources, the High Street Journal, May 2025. Their logic contains a fatal flaw, Dr. Arthur. Due diligence that arrives after the handshake. It's not a due diligence at all. It is a post-mortem. Aboarding for Mechi Eguho. Now, to our 7th point, Ghana already has a legal framework for private participation. Panel of adjudicators. The Energy Commission already has a framework for electricity distribution. Its licensing framework provides licenses for 1, Doctor, electricity distribution services, Dr. Bewa. 2, electricity sector activities. And 3, Dr. Ennis, electricity retail service. More importantly, the ECG has published guidelines for the private electricity distribution network for electricity retail service. What does this tell us? It tells us that, pay attention, it tells us that the ECG should not remain exactly as it is or sell ECG. There is a third option anyway. It is that regulated private participation, which is the private companies can bring 1, investment, 2, measuring, 3, regulation, and 3 and 4, infrastructure financing. So Matthew, why sell the whole institution when you can contract the expertise you need? Now this brings me to my 8th point, adjudication panel. A queue from Uganda and Nigeria shows that the privatization is not the cure to Ghana's electricity problem. About info, pay attention. On 31st March 2025, Umeme handed Uganda's electricity assets back to Uganda Electricity Company Limited, ending the 20-year concession and restoring new infrastructure to the government's control. Dear Chair, this brought improvement in the Uganda's electricity anyway. That was very great about info, but there is more to it. Panel, we are not saying that the Umema was a failure. That's very dishonest on our part. We are saying, say, the private sectors cannot work under certain circumstances, but it also proves that a private company is not necessarily a permanent ownership model. So I ask my opponents, listen. If permanent private ownership is a superior model, why did Uganda's 20-year private concession end with the distribution returning to state-owned company? Even the Nigeria gives us an interesting case. Nigeria privatized part of its electricity and created private distribution companies. However, in 2021, the World Bank noted that 85 million Nigerians, to over 43% of their population, lack great electricity, leading to economic losses from unreliable electricity at 5 to 7% of Nigeria's GDP annually in 2023. Panel, if privatization automatically guaranteed efficiency, Nigeria should have privatized its distribution problem simply by privatizing it, but it did not. However, it proves something more defensively. Privatization does not guarantee reliable electricity. This is the proposition we, the nobles, are here today to dismantle. That ECD should be privatized is a call in the wrong direction. Now, before I resume my speech, permit me the space to debunk some assertions made by my opponents. Adjudication panel, my opponents asserted that the privatization aspect can be held to customer service. This is a non-sequitur fallacy adjudication panel. Because ownership has changed, then there'll be changes in goods services. Dr. Arthur, commercial discipline does not guarantee better customer service. So commercial discipline is not the same as customer-oriented services. We ask, does wearing a new business suit automatically makes a company serve its customer better? No! Commercial discipline is merely about making profit and controlling costs. Customer service is about meeting the needs of customers. These are not the same. The real issue is effective management, proper supervision, and accountability. My opponents are saying that privatization is here to save lives. If privatization is here to save lives, Nigeria that have privatized part of its ownership, you will not be hearing today this part of Nigeria, Lagos, are experiencing blackouts. You will not be hearing this as experiencing blackouts. Everywhere in Ghana would have been lights. I mean, you not be doomed so everywhere. It will be LIGHT, lights. Now, to my third reporters, the opposition also claimed that privatization will reduce technical and resource revenue. Dr. Arthur, I rest my case. The chair, honorable panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, ladies and gentlemen. The old order changes, yielding place to the new. The chair, please permit me to rebut some points made by the opposition. The opposition argued that electricity distribution should be focused on structure. The World Bank directly recognized this challenge when it funded to support to improve ECG financial and operational losses, which was eventually transferred to the government. But let me tell you, no private operator can transfer losses back to the government. To the second rebuttal, the chair, the opposition argued that why should Ghana use privatization to solve Ghanaians' problem? Because privatization will invest in smart prepaid and digital customer bases. Point 3, the opposition argued that privatization is caused by the government. Oh no, it is never true. Indeed, Ghana's doomsday is caused by ECG being a public entity. Doomsday has been a situation from government to government. This means that the government is not at fault, but ECG as a public institution is. Point 4, private sector participation the opposition argued that private sector participation is not the same as privatization. Private sector participation provides privatization, my opponent. Even the companies supporting this honorable debate are private institutions. Had it not been that, you wouldn't be here in the first place to debate. The chair, with privatization, government retains strategic assets. PURC regulate tariffs. Vulnerable consumers like you and I always receive targeted protection. A private operator will not be above Ghanaian law. It will be accountable to Ghanaian regulators and Ghanaian consumers. The opposition that private companies are. How can you say that private companies continue to be the foundation that brings investment, professional and management, and enforceable consequences for failure? These same private companies restore faults quickly, communicate honestly during power outages, and invest. For crying out loud, Ghanaians do not need excuses when there is light out. What we need is evidence. If we protect that right by demanding a distributor that is efficient, solvent, accountable, and reliable. The chair, as I rise to bring our case to the close, let us remember one simple truth. A national asset is valuable only when it serves the people well. A golden key that cannot open a door is still useless to the one locked outside. ECG is too important to Ghana to be badly managed. We cannot keep polishing the padlock while the house remains in darkness. The evidence has spoken. The IMF has supported private sector participation in ECG. The World Bank has documented the persistent losses. Within the distribution system, the Millennium Challenge Corporation experience has demonstrated the importance of private sector management, improves in ECG's operations. The chair, what is the value of a national asset that cannot consistently deliver the service a nation needs? Peter Drucker said, efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is the doing of things right. The chair, doing the same thing repeatedly while expecting different results is prudence. It's not stagnation. We are not proposing to sell Ghana's future. We are proposing to manage Ghana's future better well. Let us therefore put ECG on a stronger wheel. Place it under a strong regulatory steering wheel and drive it towards a brighter Ghana, because Ghana does not need an ECG that merely belongs to the people, and Ghana needs an ECG that works for the people. When ownership becomes a cage, reform must become the key. When efficiency becomes a habit, accountability must become the hammer. And when lives are at stake, we must choose performance over sentiment. The chair, we cannot afford to keep defending the darkness simply because the candle belongs to us. ECG must not merely belong to Ghana. It must speak for Ghana. It must proudly support Ghana. And we proudly stand for private sector participation, for a brighter Ghana, a more efficient ECG, and a more prosperous future. We stand firmly to support the motion called ECG should be privatized. Thank you.
My opponents came here with a lot of new things that are mere assertions. And again, Love FM are in partnership with Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, which is under government. My supporting speaker and I raised the following point to support our stance. 1, privatization reduces access for the poor. 2, privatization leads to loss of strategic control and national sovereignty. 3, Ghana's experience shows that institutions matter, not change of ownership. 4, privatization can create a private monopoly, not necessarily competition. 5, ECG's problem do not prove that privatization is the solution. 6, corruption risks during the sale process itself is a threat. 5, again, Ghana already has a legal framework for private participation. 8, a curve from Uganda and Nigeria shows that the sole privatization is not the curve of Ghana's electricity problem. Adjudicators now about us. I thought Isaac was coming here to prove that private ownership do not want profit, but it was just a mere assertion. And again, Dr. Atta, my supporting speaker and I has rebutted 6 out of the 8 points they raised. We were here to rebut every single point they raised, but the rest of the 2 were just my opponents may say that, and Dr. Atta, we never said that. There is nothing left to rebut about. We rest our case.
All right, so you paid attention to the debaters a while ago. Please, it's my turn to also debate. Madam Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, we've come to the end of contest 3. Contest 3 is on the second day of the Love FM Kel Charcoal Toothpaste High School's debate. We had that contest between Mankranso Senior High School and Ibadur Rahman Academy. The motion was ECG should be privatized. Please put your hands together for the 2 schools. Because some of them were shocking Dr. Pitata. Others were asking for other things and all that. It was beautiful. It was exciting. Thank you very much. At this point in time, I'd like to welcome Lady Becca to join me. I know that the results will be compiled shortly, and we'll be announcing the results for you to find out whether your school won or your school would be coming to join us next year. But for now, Lady Becca, what do you have for us?
Well, David, we just have some thanks to send out there. We want to say a very big thank you to Best Brain Publications Limited. Every child with a good future depends on the foundation laid by their parents. Are you a school looking for books for pupils? Are you a parent that needs books for your wards? Best Brain Publications Limited has been approved by National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, NACA, and the Ministry of Education to supply books to basic schools nationwide. Best Brain publication has books on all subjects ranging from crèche, nursery, KG, and primary. You can also call them for the following books: English language, science, mathematics, computing, Our World, Our People, and many more. We are located at Mankranso here in Kumasi and all bookshops all over the country. For more information, kindly call 0507 200 200 or 0241 520 946. Best Brain Publication, securing tomorrow's academic well-being. And lastly, we would like to say a very big thank you to J.M. Ado and Sons, the producers of Alpha Folic Acid, Borges Olive Oil, and Oneplex 400.
Well, thank you very much, Lady Baker there. So at this point in time, please put your hands together for these young debaters. And as you're very much aware, we had Rosinel Inso and Isaac Akowa Mensah representing Mansek. 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 Great Mansek. Abuodinfo. And of course, we had Taslima Awudu and Haria Masawood also representing Ibadur Rahman Academy. Ibas. 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 All right, so we're going to take 5 minutes break. When we come back, we're going to have the contest 4 take place. But for now, 5 minutes break. Thank you very much.
4% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debates championship. Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
Powered by
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, "Oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work." And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from alibaba.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debates championship. Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
powered by
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, "Oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work." And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from alibaba.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debate championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
Powered by
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work. And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from Ibadur.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debate championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
Powered by
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work. And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from Ibadur.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debate championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
Powered by
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work. And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from Ibadur.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debate championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest.
Powered by
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work. And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from Ibadur.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that 74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil servants and not the politicians, as reported by Transparency International in the year 2022.
The battle of brilliant ideas is back. The 2026 Love FM Cal Chaco Toothpaste High Schools debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head to head on
High Schools debate happening here at the Christian Service University in Kumasi. We are live on Radio Love 99.5 FM, live on TV Joy Prime, Joy Learning on your multi-TV Digibox. And as always, we are excited to share with you that we do this program in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, the Ashanti Regional Students of Assisted Senior High Schools CHAS, and of course our title sponsor, that is Samara Company Limited, proud producers of Kel Chaco Toothpaste. We've seen the end of contest 3 and we are now going to contest 4. Yes, contest 3 was between Mankranso Senior High School and Ibadur Rahman Academy. Now contest 4 is going to be between TI Media Senior High School, one-time champion for this debate, and also Okonfanoche Senior High School. Now these two schools are going to argue for and against the motion code. MMDCs should be elected and code. MMDCs should be elected. Tia Media is arguing for the motion, and Okonfanoche Senior High School is going to argue against the motion. And I have this beautiful Senior High School to share with me a few words even before we set the ball run, and also social media.
Well, my name is Precious Ayubek. And this contest, we didn't just come to win. We came with heat, fire. And one encouraging word for my opponents is, if they know what is good for them, they should step back and pave way for Anochi Senior High School, Sikejama, the brave warriors. Thank you.
Okay, let me go to the gentleman also from TI Media.
I am Opokwa Brad Dennis McHilton, the WDS president for TIMAS. Today, I want my opponents to know that if they want to argue against us, they should start tearing the arguments into pieces. For we are going to render them a fluxification for this program is going to be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Stay tuned and see you lose. Thank you.
I'm powerful to teach pictures of these schools, just taking it away now from TI Media still. What would you want to add, sir?
A very good afternoon to you all in sundry. We are representing, and our debaters are poised and ready for today's contest. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the last person from Okonfanoche Senior High School, you are?
I am Niza J. Chermatsen from Okonfanoche Senior High School. I want to remind our opponents that we are not on the tartans and we are not on the field. They should remember that a sharp brain, a steady tongue is what we use to win the toughest contest in debate. So they should just and then look for us as we come with full speed.
Schools are going to account for their stewardship, but also don't forget that the hashtag is LUVFMHSD. David, over to you at the auditorium.
Well, thank you very much, Patricia Amabunsi, and to all of you in this beautiful auditorium. Please put your hands together. And please kindly make some noise. It is telling our audiences on television and on radio that you guys are here, you're having a wonderful time, and you're eager and ready to listen to wonderful debate. 8 years ago, Love FM, part of the multimedia group, decided to put this event together. We call it the Love FM High Schools Debate. 8 years ago, we crowned a champions in TI Amas. After TI Amas won, St. Jerome came through and they won. Then we had St. Monica's winning. Then the fourth time we had Kumasi High School winning. The fifth time was won by Pempe College. The sixth was won by High School again. And again last year, the seventh edition, Pempe College won. And therefore they are the defending champions. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Ashanti Regional SRC, on behalf of the Ashanti Regional GES, and also on behalf of CHAS, we welcome you warmly to this beautiful auditorium where we're having this debate. We're doing this together with the Christian Service University. They've offered us this beautiful auditorium. You're comfortably seated. Please put your hands together for this beautiful, wonderful university. This year's edition is coming up your way together with Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Now, they have been formulated and produced under strict hygienic conditions with all the necessary protocols and approved by the FDA. Now, the constant use of Kel Charcoal Toothpaste gives you the fresh breath, whitens your teeth, reduces dental plaques, and prevents cavity, and makes gum healthy and strong. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste is recommended for adults and children from age 6. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste is another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Please call them on 0246 864 798 or 050-145-4462 for bulk purchase, and also for enquiries you can call Kel Charcoal Toothpaste on those numbers. Now, please smile. Let me see if you have beautiful smiles. If your smiles are also happy. Yeah, I like your smile. I have something special for you. Let's also say a very big thank you to Christian Service University. Now, they are admitting students for the 2026-2027 academic year. Now, for over 50 years, Christian Service University have been training ethical and visionary leaders who are making difference in Ghana and beyond. Apply now for their undergraduate and postgraduate programs that include a flagship Doctor of Ministry in Christian Leadership and Management designed for leaders in the corporate, institutional, and religious sectors. Gain holistic education grounded in Christian values with opportunities in scholarships, entrepreneurship, and employability for a better future. You can find Christian Service University at Star Junction, Santasi. You can also log on to www.csu.edu.gh.csu. The university of choice is the Christian Service University. Also supported by Jackson University College. Talking about the Jackson University College, listen to this for me. Mrs. Teresa Jackson, that is Mrs. Teresa Wilhelmina Jackson, who is our patron and the chairperson for this event, is with us this afternoon. Now, she is an educationist, she is a youth and marriage counselor, a preacher, a mentor, and a philanthropist. Now, she has counseled the youth and students since 1978. She is a renowned marriage counselor. As an educationist, she has over 55 years of experience both in Ghana and abroad. Now, she is a former assistant headmistress of Kumasi High School and the headmistress of KNUST Junior High from 1992 to 2008. Now, she is a co-founder and the principal of Jackson University College, which offers 1-year postgraduate diploma in education, master's and MPhil in maths, English, guidance and counseling, educational leadership and administration, as well as B.Ed programs. Now, in partnership with NIIT India, they offer many technology programs. Her passion is to instill moral training to the youth in order to transform society. Now, she's married to Professor Ebenezer Asifua Jackson, and by the grace of God, they have 4 adult children, Daniel, Emmanuel, Nora, and Ebenezer. Please, one more time, show our chairperson and their patron some love. Oh, you can do it better. Thank you. God bless you. When the competition begins, we have a panel of judges. The panel of judges, their duty, like you will be listening attentively. The difference between them and you is that they will be scoring. Let me introduce you first of all. Johnson Jomo Bewa, an English tutor at a higher institution. He has taught English for 15 years and counting. Mr. Bewa, good afternoon to you, and thanks very much for joining us. Please show him some love as well. Also with us this afternoon as one of our judges, we have Dr. Ernest Obeng. He's a lecturer here at Christian Service University. He is with the Accounting and Finance Department. Dr. Ernest Obeng. For those of you who will be following the debate, some of the debaters come and they shock him and they call his name. Well, it is so because he's our lead judge and he's always with us. Dr. Peter Arthur is his name. Call him Pierrot, call him the imposing man. There he is. Now, he's a former head of Department of English, KNUST, former head of Department of Language and Communication Science, KNUST. He is a textual analyst and also a textual analyst. Now, he's here this afternoon, as always, as our lead judge. I'm going to call upon him to mount the podium, grab the microphone, and share some very important information with us. The information is simple. He'll be telling us about the rules of engagement. Rules of engagement, and also be sharing with us how, as judges, they'll be scoring this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, please show him some love as I call on Dr. Peter Arthur to run us through the rules of engagement and, of course, how they'll be scoring. Pierrot, good afternoon.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I go straight to my business. That is to give the rules of engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 parameters. So we have organization and clarity, argument and development, effective use of rebuttal, presentation style, and role as a particular debater. Let me take it one by one. With organization and clarity, we are expecting a point, you understand? But before a point, you need an introduction. You need a good introduction, a good hook, a good, attention getter, so that everybody will get to follow what you are saying. Then when you have finished with that, we expect some definition of some key points, you understand? Some definition of key concepts and stuff like that. Then, of course, your thesis statement, where whatever that you are going to do, whatever that you plan. I liked something about those who just presented. She was able to sum up everything in just one sentence. That wouldn't be bad. The first speaker is taking 15 marks. The second speaker is taking 10 marks, and then the summary is going for 5. Then argument and development. Listen carefully. You are arguing. Argument is a chain, all right? It is a chain of ideas. So we call it causal chain. One is causal chain. With causal chain, what we are saying is that A is producing B. Now, if A automatically produces B, then A is the necessary cause of B. You understand that? But sometimes you have a lot of possibilities to produce B. In that sense, it is a sufficient cause. So as you are arguing, make sure that from A you go to B and there is nothing that is intervening. Now, the first speaker is taking 15 marks. The second speaker is also taking 10 marks. And then the summary is going for 5 marks. Then we have effective use of rebuttal. Now, I go back. You listen to the person from A to B. If he is treating a sufficient cause as a necessary cause, this is your duty. This is where you come in and tell us that, no, there are other possibilities, so your conclusion cannot be true. And then we have the procedural chain. The procedural chain has got to do with steps. So if I'm directing you to this place, I say go to the roundabout, Tantasi roundabout, 10 left. You're going to Obuasi. When you get to the major junction, 10 right. When you turn right, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I miss any of the step, you won't find your way here, would you? That is the same way when we are speaking, so that you make sure when you are presenting, you order your thoughts properly so that the conclusion will be solid. Here, the first speaker is taking 5, and then the second speaker is taking 10, and there is nothing for the summary. Presentation style. Please be gentle. We are not fighting here. And do not rush us. As if you are doing some nursery recitation. Don't do that. That is why we've given you enough time. You understand? You have enough time for that. Take your time and articulate properly. Now, don't be excited. Be composed. So you don't attack the opponent. You don't do that. Now, use good body language and then use the platform very well. The first speaker is taking 8. The second speaker is taking 5. And then the summary is 2. Role as a particular debater. The first debater is the one who carries everything, and you must be powerful. That is it. The second speaker is only a supporter. And then the first speaker is taking 5, and then the second is taking 3, and then the summary is 2. Now let's pay attention for the rules. Rule 1, the principal speaker on the affirmative team presents argument in support of the motion. 10 minutes for that. Rule 2, the principal speaker on the opposing team presents argument opposing the resolution. 10 minutes for that. And then rule 3. The second speaker on the affirmative team presents further argument in support of the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the opposing speaker. 7 minutes for that. Rule 4. The second speaker on the opposing team presents further arguments against the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the previous affirmative speaker. 7 minutes for that. Then the principal speaker on the affirmative team comes with closing statements to their argument without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals if necessary. 5 minutes for that. Then the principal speaker on the opposing team comes with closing statements to their arguments without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttal if necessary. 5 minutes for that. Now note, speakers must be very audible, and then there cannot be any interruption. Speakers must wait for their turn. The principal speaker must raise only 5 points, and then the supporting speaker raises 3 points. Now listen to this one. He who asserts must prove, and in order to establish an assertion, the team must support it with enough facts and evidence. Facts and evidence must be accurate. Then examples of visual materials are also permissible, and once introduced, they become available for the opponents if so desired. And tangible evidence must be tendered as exhibits to support facts. And then in rebuttals, the debater rebutting may ask any constructive and clear question that has a direct bearing on the point raised. The one rebutting must confine him or herself to questions and not to make statements, comments, or ask rhetorical questions. Now listen to this one. Supporters from both sides are to exercise discipline, not to induce, frustrate, or intimidate the opponent in any form. Failure would attract a deduction of marks from their team. Debaters must respect time. If you are bailed out, you must end your presentation. Otherwise, you will lose some marks. In the event of a tie, the two schools involved will be given a motion to debate within 24 hours. Note, the score of one judge cannot overturn that of two judges. Therefore, there is either a majority decision from the judges, meaning 2 judges of the 3 scored for a school, or there could also be unanimous decision, meaning all 3 judges scored for the school. And all issues or problems must be addressed to the moderator. Now let's talk about time. So reporting time for contest is 12:30, and failure to adhere to this will lead to disqualification. Mr. Moderator, I've done my duty.
And he deserves a round of applause. Dr. Peter Arthur, thank you so much. He is our lead judge. So he talked about respecting time. And that is why we have taken it upon ourselves to make it available for you, an accurate timekeeper. When you're halfway through your debate as a debater, this is what you will hear. And when your time is fully up, this is what you will hear. What they say, Why? Thank you very much. His name is Kelvin. Please put your hands together for accurate timekeeper Kelvin. All right, so they are one-time champions. They were the very first winners when we began the Love FM High Schools debate. They are here this afternoon to contest in today's competition. This is going to be contest 4. Amas. No. Let's take it again. Amas. Amas. Phobia. Please stand. You're not new to this at all because you've been with us for years. And so you're standing up because you're going to sing for us a school anthem. After which we get to usher in your debaters where they'll be taking their seats, grabbing the microphone, mounting the podium, and do justice to the motion. Are you ready to sing your school anthem? Yes. So I have a very good friend and colleague. His name is Francis Drewy. Francis is ready to assist you to sing your school anthem. So he's going to play for you a pre-recorded school anthem of yours. All you need to do is to sing along. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. Then on 3, 1, 2, go. All right, so let's welcome their debaters now with a round of applause and with some noise making. Let's welcome Linus Adamu, the principal speaker, and Iram Mashun, the supporting speaker, representing TIMAS, and they are for the motion. Well, you know, we've done this for 8 years. And within the 8 years, we've had several schools come and go, but some of them have been coming frequently. So we stand here, we listen to the anthem, we are familiar with some of the anthems. So some of you are like, hey, I'm singing the anthem, am I an old student? No, I'm not an old student of TIMAS, but I've heard their song or the anthem several times. If your school keeps coming, I'll lend your anthem as well. One more time from TIMAS, put your hands together for your debaters. Okonfo Noche. Okonfo Noche. Let's take it from the top. Okonfo Noche. Okonfo Noche. Okonfo Noche. The brave warriors, please stand for me. Brave you are, and you're here to face one-time champions in TIMAS. Please, you know how to sing your school anthem, don't you? I like the sea of green I'm seeing. You're looking beautiful and handsome this afternoon. Put your hands together for yourselves. Having done that, please get ready to sing for us your school anthem. Uncle Francis, you ready? So, same thing. You listen to Francis, he plays your tune, you sing along. So on 3, 1, 2, go.
Shall
All right, so hear this. This is the first time I'm hearing your school anthem, but I'm in love with it already. Please put your hands together for yourselves for singing your school anthem with pride and joy. At this point in time, still clapping, let's welcome your debaters, Louisa, Tambil, Kojo, Kingsley, John. Where are they? There they are. Louisa, Tambil, Kojo, Kingsley, John. Now, Louisa is the principal speaker. Supporting speaker is Kojo, Kingsley, John. All right. And then they are paid. But you that is not a competition though. The contest is here, itself is here, between the two schools. Are you comfortable in your seats? You comfortable? Amasphobia, are you comfortable in your chairs as well? They say they are. So this is the motion. MMDCs should be elected. I'll take it again. MMDCs should be elected. Now, Tia Mas are for the motion. Okonfa-Notche, they are against the motion. Madam Chairperson, do we have your blessing? She's giving us the blessing. So at this point in time, let's go and invite the principal speaker for Tia Mas to start the debate. Linus Adamu, take the microphone, take the stage.
Lord Acton once said, and I quote, "A leader appointed for the citizen may govern the citizens, but a leader selected by the citizens must answer to the citizen." This powerful statement reflects on today's motion, and today I have mounted this podium to present my argument under this statement. With this, greetings to the ever-wise chair, bold and just panel of jury, spectacular timekeeper, debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols duly observed. Good afternoon. I am Linus Adamu Zrukanen, principal speaker in affirmation of the motion, quote, MMDCEs should be elected, unquote. Panel of judges, as the principal speaker, permit me to explain the key concepts in the motion. As and when needed, exhibit will be tendered in to back our claims. First, the abbreviation MMDCEs stands for Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, which is defined by Article 243, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution. Madam Chairperson, the verb elected is defined by the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionaries as to choose someone for a particular position through voting. All in all, the motion simply seems to posit that our metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives should be selected through voting and not by presidential appointment. My supporting speaker and I present our underpinning argument under this motion. Ladies and gentlemen, we argue that why MMDCEs should be elected. In light of this, point number one, we support the motion because we believe that the election of MMDCEs will solve the winner takes it all crisis in Ghana. Panel of judges, the political leaders turn local leaders into a gift for their partners. However, when MMDCs are elected, then it means that our leaders and our traditional leader system will be managed carefully. The chair, they turn this into a reward packages for political soldiers. Ladies and gentlemen, an empirical evidence on 8 January 2026, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, revoked the appointment of all MMDCEs under the previous government with immediate effect. That is not all. A report highlighted that on 26th March 2025, the president declared that over 71 out of the 261 MMDCEs has been elected to fill their position, leaving behind 190 MMDCEs, which was supposed to be filled their position, and there is nothing there like that. Now, my good friends, the argument is this does not survive under a developmental progress. Therefore, this makes our stance clear that if MMDCEs are elected, then there will be a structured term limit for each district, which will align with the 4-year term as enshrined in Article 249 of the 1992 Constitution. Panel of judges, this brings me to my second point. We support the motion because we believe that election of MMDCs will make them more accountable to the citizens they serve. The panel appointed MMDCs own their office to the government. Meanwhile, if MMDCs are elected, then they will serve the citizen. But here lies the case: if a person can only be removed by one person, then they serve or they answer to the question of that individual who can remove them. That is the MMDCs and the government. Now, Dr. Peter, the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, in the Article 240, Clause 2E, promises us that we can ensure the accountability of our local government authority. And also, we can also do this by managing and ensuring the people in a particular local government area shall afford the opportunity to participate effectively in their local governance. Now, my good friends, you argue with me that you affirm my stance that this contradicts the appointment mechanism. Therefore, if MMDCs are elected, then they will feel the burden of the citizen who elected them into power, and they will serve them responsibly and accountably. Dr. Peter, this brings me to my third point. We support the motion because we believe that election of MMDCs will fulfill the true mandate of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Panel of judges, decentralization was never meant to be an administrative slogan. It was intended to dissolve the real political power into the grassroots. Ladies and gentlemen, Article 240, Clause 2A of the 1992 Constitution mandates a maximum devolution of function and power to the local government unit. This therefore tells us that imposing chief executive from national capital will contradict the spirit of devolution and turn local assemblies into a central government. Panel of judges, it may interest my opponents here to know that Chapter 20 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana was drafted in order to end this relationship and not to entrench it, and therefore I present my fourth point. We support the motion because we believe that election of MMDCs will revive local revenue mobilization, which is now collapsing. Panel of judges, citizens will only pay taxes whenever they believe in the government or the leadership managing their taxes. Here lies the case: the citizens do not have the distrust in the appointed MMDCs, so decided not to pay the tax. Let's take empirical evidence. From 2021 to 2025, the nation spent an amount of 22.4 million Ghana cedis on the salaries of revenue collectors, only for them to collect an amount of 10.26 million Ghana cedis to the nation. Panel of judges, this is unfair. Now, Madam Jackson, let's take only 2024 alone and digest that deeper. In the year 2024, the nation spent an amount of 11.74 million Ghana cedis on 245 revenue collectors from 55 assemblies, only for them to generate an amount of 4.78 million Ghana cedis to the country. This is not unfair. Now, Madam Jackson, don't be shocked, because the only amount, or this will happen with a shortfall of 6.96 million Ghana cedis. The chair panel of judges, this makes our stance clear, but what pains me the most is that the individual collectors will receive an amount ranging from 50,000 Ghana cedis to 90,000 Ghana cedis, leaving the country with only amount of 6,000 Ghana cedis. Can this be used for a developmental project? Therefore, this makes our stance clear that electing MMDCs will bring about development in our nation. But Dr. Peter, the unfortunate thing is that this violates the Section 52 of the Public Financial Revenue Management Act 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, my stance is clear. The assertions are proven. So I move to point number 5. We support the motion because we believe that election of MMDCs will promote gender equality. Panel of judges, direct election give women and also all citizens the power to engage in the local executives. This prevents them from depending solely on the appointment mechanism. The chair of the House, speaking at the Ghana launching training arrived for female district executives, the Deputy Minister for Local Government, Chief Sansi and the Religious Affairs, Honorable Retana Adote Sir, stated that only 30% out of the 261 district assemblies are for women. I mean, only 30 women are occupying the MMDCE position. Madam Jackson, is that fair? This is why in the 2025 State of the Nation's address, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, stated that his administration will feature the gender equity empowerment. This is to empower the women in the administration of the government. Panel of judges, at this juncture, permit me to seize this moment to dismantle some bold but baseless assertions my opponents may mount this podium to assert. They may quote Article 243 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana and say that election of MMDCs is a constitutional mandate, but they should forget about the human and then remember Chapter 290 of the same article, which states that in case of democratic revolution, there should be an amendment. This means that the Constitution is not a Bible, of which no one can amend. Therefore, we can amend the Constitution in order to elect our MMDCs. My opponents may again assert that locals are not educated to elect good leaders. The chair, if they assert so, then they've thrown an insult to all the citizens in our country. Because how can you say that locals are not educated? Meanwhile, our locals elect our MPs, our assemblyman, our president, and many others who go through electoral process. Panel of judges, my opponents may again assert that the appointment of MMDC the appointment of MNDCs is enshrined to the central government. Therefore, the appointment of MNDCs is a necessity. Panel of judges, if they say so, then it means they're relying on a central government substitute, create a culture and a dependency with a stigmatization. Now, Dr. Peter, elected local executives are forced to think like CEOs. The chair of the House, this makes our stance clear and evident. Panel of judges, at this juncture, I therefore call on all and sundry to rise in one accord with me as we strongly, firmly step into the future by appointing our MMDCs, not to debunk the fallacious arguments of my opponents, but to step into a future of our own benefit. I bow.
Elections in Ghana have given us political vendettas, toxic polarization, and deep social division. Why on earth would we want to take the exact same political poison, pack it into a syringe, and inject it into the veins of our peaceful towns and neighborhoods? The chair, respected judges, our precise timekeeper, fellow debaters, our hardworking organizers, esteemed teachers, honorable members of the House, all protocol duly acknowledged. I am Louisa Tambo, and the principal speaker against the proposition, quote and unquote, MMDC should be elected. The chair, before I commence to the points in support of my stance on the proposition, I implore you to permit me to explain some of the terms inherent in the proposition. Honorable judges, MMDCE stand for the Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Chief Executives. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, elected means to be selected by vote for an office. To put it simply, the chair, the proposition therefore means that the Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Chief Executive should be voted for through organized election and not by appointment by the President. My honorable judges, it's upon this premise that my supporting speaker and I stand to vehemently oppose this proposition. I therefore seek your indulgence to rebut the lies my opponents too dare to perpetuate. They said we will affirm mechanism. Please, we are not going to talk about mechanism here. Now, they talk about accountability. What do you know of accountability? When you know very well that there are several MPs who were voted on by their constituents, but do not even visit their people before going to the parliament. While accountability to the local electorate sounds ideal on paper, electing MMDCs will actually lead to total breakdown of state coordination. Your argument is outdated, so let's start examining my arguments against the above proposition. My first point is that election of MMDCs would deadlock national policy and turn implementation into sabotage. The chair, Ghana is one republic, one sovereignty, one people, and one president accountable to the whole nation. Article 1, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana tells us that picture this. The president and the local chief executive answering rival flags, rival parties, rival masters, will an opposition aligned MMDCE break straight to make a rival government look good?
Will they rush to cut a ribbon on the program that will win their opponent the next election? We are not accusing every opposition MMDC of sabotage. We do not need to. We are exposing a structure that makes sabotage cheap, rational, and deniable. My honorable judges, this is not speculation. Ghana, this is not speculation. In August 2023, at Siobodom in the Techiman North District, DCE, Everson Adodonko, ordered the police to halt a traffic light replacement project. The MP, Elizabeth Ofosu Ajare, was executed to fulfill a 2020 campaign pledge, reportedly declaring it is not a government that is in power. The standoff produced clashes between the two official supporters. Before the police impounded the contractor's equipment, my code beaters, my question is, if this is what one appointed official can do, what happens when both officials arrived armed as a rival electoral mandates? This is my evidence. Secondly, my honorable judges, election will tear down the non-partisan shield that protects our grassroots from party politics. The chair, the framers of the 1992 Constitution were not careless when they wrote Article 243. They looked at Ghana and built that wall. Article 243 Clause 1 says a district assembly candidate must stand as an individual, stripped of party colors. Article 248 Clause 2 says no party may sponsor, endorse, or campaign for that candidate. That wall was built on purpose, brick by brick, to keep the fever of the national party out of communities' toilets, markets, and feeder roads. The chair, now we are asked to break that wall down. Must every borehole, gutter, every school block become an NPP versus NDC battle? With our assembly debating where to site a clinic, ask which community needs it the most or which community voted for us. Will neighbors who has farmed side by side suddenly eye each other as a rival partisan because an election forced them into opposing camps? The chair, Ghana has already tried to tear down this wall and flinched. On 20th February 2019 and 28th May 2019, the then NPP government laid constitution amendment bills to strip out the Article 55 Clause 3 and Article 243 Clause 1 protection and permit permission local location with a companion referendum scheduled for 17th December 2019. On 1st to 2nd December 2019, President Akufo-Addo reviewed the bills and cancelled the referendum outright. Attorney General Gloria Akufo cited that there was lack of broad national consensus. The question is, if even the government that proposed this reform could not convince the nation to touch that wall, what, honorable judges, has changed since? This is my evidence. The chair, my third point is that election of MMDCs will drain a strained economy for uncertain democratic return. My honorable judges, democracy is not free, but neither is it a bottomless well. Every city depends on ballots, transport, security details, and collation of sheets of an MMDC election. Is a city that will not rehabilitate a leaking classroom, will not equip a clinic, will not tie a single pothole reading feeder road. We should not exaggerate what the Electoral Commission has not yet produced, but must ask plainly, what are we sacrificing this fund for? My dear judges, the bill for the current system is already staggering. For the 2023 district level election held under the non-partisan system, guess what? The Electoral Commission paid 69,164,842 Ghana cedis, 11 pesos to 116,211 temporary officials alone, before counting materials, logistics, security, and collation. This is the floor, not the ceiling of what Ghana already spends to run only the assembly members' electoral exercise. There is insufficient data to verify the specific total, and that silence in itself should give us a pause. This is my evidence. Fourthly, my honorable judges, election of MMDCs will compromise national security by confusing the chain of command. My honorable judges, when trouble breaks out, a chieftaincy dispute turns violent. A flood swallows a community. A communal clash spirals out of control. Ghana does not have a luxury to debate. It needs one chain of command acting fast. The MMDC chairs the District Security Council for precisely that reason, to fuse local knowledge with immediate authority. The chair, now imagine that elected
MMDC, freshly elected, weighing a particular unpopular national security directive against the ballot box that put them in office? Do they act or do they calculate? Do they protect the citizens or do they protect their base? In an emergency, hesitation kills. My honorable judges, we are not claiming that MMDC will automatically defy the center. The law may yet constrain them. But we are asking the harder question, why build ambiguity in the chain of command where ambiguity has a body count? The chain of command is real and it is in flux. The Security and Intelligence Agencies Act 1996, Act 526, Section 8, names the DCE as the Security Assembly Council. The question is, will the MMDCE, who is not on the government side, not wait for what will happen for the government to be unpopular? This is my evidence. So my fifth and final point, the chair, MMDC's election fails to address the real problem, which is fiscal decentralization, not the method of selection. My honorable judges, here is a question no campaign poster will answer. Can ballot paper build the hospital? Can an election certificate pave a road? Changing ways of how MMDC enters office does not add a single city to Assembly's account. If the elected MMDC inherits the same staff budget as the appointed one, what exactly has the Grand Democratic achieved besides a louder campaign and a bigger bill? My dear judges, Article 252 promised district assemblies not less than 5% of the National Revenue Fund through the District Assembly Common Fund. The question is, does this money come at all? And if it comes, does it come on time? The real question Ghana refuses to confront is whether the local government is predictable, adequate, protect resources, and no election. However, lowly contest can change that arithmetic. My honorable judges, picture the newly elected MMDC who swept in with 70% of the vote, standing before an angry constituent with no money to fix the drain, the road, the school. Will the size of that mandate fill the treasury? And now, electorally exposed, elected official promising more and delivering the same nothing. The question is, if Ghana cannot even guarantee the money the Constitution promises, what confidence? Thank you.
The ever-wise chairperson, wise and amiable panel of adjudicators, heads of schools present, organizers of Love from High School debates, accurate timekeeper co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, representing T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School, Kumasi today, I am Irham Mashood Chelpa, a bold and an eloquent supporting speaker, speaking firmly for the motion before the House today. Quote, MMDCs should be elected. Unquote. The chair, as my ideal principal speaker, has already clarified the key terms embedded in the motion. Primarily, as a supporting speaker, permits me to buttress our stance with more points. In light of this point, says the chair, we support the motion because election of MMDCs will eradicate local financial malfeasance. The chair, appointed officials operate without any meaningful check, and the figure shows exactly what they produce. For instance, a 10-year assessment of the Auditor General's report on District Assembly's account found irregularities amounting to 242.84 million Ghana cedis and still rising. The chair, between 2020 and 2024, more than 452 million Ghana cedis was lost, with irregularities jumping to 205.9 million Ghana cedis just in 2024 alone. The chair, the Auditor General's report in 2024 confirms that all the 261 assemblies recorded irregularities arising from non-adherence to law, regulations, and also internal control. We are of the view that if communities should decide on the selection and eviction of MMDCs, this canker would cease. Point 7, ladies and gentlemen, we support the motion because election of MMDCs will align local projects with actual community needs. When an appointed MMDC decides where to put the district's money, he does not think of the village without a borehole because he knows that that village cannot remove him from office. Instead, he thinks about Accra because Accra appointed him and only Accra can dismiss him. So their money goes to where it can be seen. photographed and commissioned rather than where it is needed. Sad, right? The chair, everyone here is aware that Parliament has approved 8.7 billion Ghana cedis allocation to the District Assembly Common Fund for the 2026 fiscal year. However, putting more money in the hands of someone facing the wrong direction won't fix the problem, but rather it multiplies it. So our point is, the person who spends a district's money should hold a mandate from the people whose money it is. Point 8, the chair. We still speak in full affirmation of the motion because we believe that election of MMDCs will end violent agitation over imposed nominees. The chair, the process of imposing presidential nominees consistently triggers hostility and disorder in the very communities where the nominees are meant to serve. The chair, at least, we can all recall how the Kumewu NDC youth vandalized party office over DCE nomination. What about the Chirponi MPP youth who destroyed several properties following the announcement of Zuwaira Mada Nashiru as the DCE? The chair, on April 10, 2025 at Asante Mampo, some supporters of the ruling NDC were furious over President Mohammed's nomination of Yusuf Yakubu as their MC. The chair, these supporters were seen vandalizing and also these supporters were seen vandalizing and also setting the party office ablaze. Impartial panel of judges. With this, my opponents still come here to tell us that MMDCs are supposed to be appointed. The chair, before I resume my seat, permit me to rebut some certain fallacies made by my opponents. The chair, my opponents mounted this podium and asserted that appointed MMDCs are accountable because they report directly to the Ministry of Local Government. But accountability that flows upward to the minister in Accra is zero accountability for the citizen in the district. If an appointed MMDC fails to fix broken boreholes in a local community, the citizens cannot vote the minister out. True accountability must be local, immediate, and tied to the ballot box. Again, the chair, they try to swear us up by saying that appointed MMDCs successfully decentralize administrative functions to districts. However, the chair, administrative decentralization without political devolution is just administrative window dressing. When the boss in Accra pays the local executive, the district assembly becomes a mere administrative branch office, not an autonomous local government. Lastly, the chair, my opponents try to throw dust into our eyes by saying that appointing local executives creates a unified form of command and prevents friction between local and central governments. But the chair permits me to use this floral tissue to wipe away that dust by saying that a uniform form of government is just another word for autocracy. Democracy thrives on a healthy institutional checks and balances. The chair, comparative politics shows that. Comparative politics shows that decentralization or appointed MMDCs use. Thank you, the chair.
You cannot drive a trotro successfully if 261 different passengers are all trying to grab the steering wheel to steal to their own villages. Such will be our situation as a country if we try to elect our MMDC. Ghana needs one coordinated direction under one president, not a chaotic governance traffic jam created by electing local executives. The chair, esteemed adjudicators, precise timekeeper, co-debaters, and hard-working organizers, respected teachers, honorable members of the House, all protocols duly acknowledged. I am Kujo Kingsley John, and I rise as the supporting speaker against the proposition, quote and unquote, MMDCs should be elected. I agree to you all. The chair, I felt very appalled when I heard my fellow debater in favor of the proposition said that they mentioned something on cubing the winner takes all system. But my opponent, allowing opposing an independent candidate to win executive seats at the local level will not cure the winner-take-all syndrome. It will simply decentralize the replicate and exact toxic political welfare on that district level. Local assemblies will become permanent proxy war zones where the elected opposition executive spends their entire term fighting the central government instead of developing the community. My esteemed adjudicators, throwing tantrums are not the same as saying the truth. So, we should be very circumspect in dealing with and listening to such people. My honorable judges, since my principal speaker has already dealt extensively about the meaning of the proposition, I will implore you to permit me to proceed with my point to buttress what my principal speaker said. My first point is that MMDC election will paralyze governance with endless friction between MMDCs and the members of parliament. My honorable judges, there will be 2 elected officials, 1 district, 1 pot of political credit. The MP says, I was elected by the people. The MMDC, now armed with a fresh elected mandate, says, so was I. Who then actually speaks for that district? Who cut the ribbon? Who claims the road, the school block, the market? My dear judges, what happens the moment an ambitious MMDC eyes that very MP parliamentary seat? Will the MP cheer on a project that makes future rival more popular? Will the MMDC happily let the MP take credit for work the assembly delivered? Developments in that climate stops being about that people and start being about who gets the photograph. My honorable judges, none of these makes conflict inevitable. Good rules and good faith can still hold the line. But why manufacture rivalry we do not yet know how to referee? My honorable judges, this war is already being fought by appointed officials. In September 2025 at Kwabin Etiwa West, MP laureate Koko Asante was blocked from commissioning an astroturf facility she had personally lobbied to build. After the DCE deployed personnel described as national security operative to disrupt that ceremony, the DCE was appointed, not elected. Now, hand both sides the ballot and ask yourself honestly, does that cool the fire or does that pour more petrol in it? This is my evidence. To my second point, the chair, MMDC election rigs the tyranny of the majority and the marginalization of minorities. To some people, 1 vote sounds like a purest justice until you are the minority who never wins. In a district carrying several ethnic, religious, and social communities, what stops a numerically dominant group from capturing the MMDC's chair election after election, generation after generation? And what incentive does a candidate have to answer a small community needs when courting the largest bloc is enough to win comfortably? Honorable judges, democracy must answer 2 questions, not 1. Who has the vote and who does not? And how will the second group's voice survive the first group's arithmetic? An MMDC election that cannot answer that question is not an upgrade in representation. It is majority rule in minority. It is majority rule with minority silence built in. A case in point is where we associate the NPP for the Ashantis and the Airways to the NDCs. This is my evidence. To my third and final point, the chair, election of MMDCs will trap local governance in endless campaign cycle at the expense of everyday development. The chair, from the very first day in office, an elected MMDC will be counting down to the next election, not because they are dishonest, but because that is what elections do to every elected people everywhere. Will the urgent but invincible drainage project lose out to the flashy but unnecessary one that photographs were during polling day? Will scarce resources chase community with the most swing voters rather than the community with the greatest needs? My co-debater, when does governing ends and campaigning begins? Will every official talk quietly become a campaign stop? Will every project commissioning to an election will commissioning to an election be branded fairly or not as vote buyers dressed up as development? Ghana already lives in this anxiety in national politics. Why must we invite it into every district every year on top of what we already endure? In conclusion, my honorable judges, let us stop pretending this debate is as should the people choose their MMDCs. Of course, people should be heard, but hearing them is not the same as handling them the way from Of course, people should be heard, but hearing them is not the same as handling them a reform with no answer to the hard question. Well, what power will an elected MMDC actually hold? Who will bankroll the campaign? Who will protect the minority when the majority always wins? Who will resolve the standoff between the president and an elected MMDC? Or between an MMDC and the sitting MP? Who guards the national security when local politics gets in their way? Where does the money come from? When the district assembly common fund itself has already been capped, litigated and fought over? What stops the loudest voice from beating the most competent one to the finish line? My dear judges, the real test of decentralization is not who simply sits in the MMDC's chair. It is whether the chair comes with the institutional capacity, the financial muscle, the administrative competence, and the political maturity to actually deliver for the people who elected, appointed the person sitting in it. Until Ghana can answer that, the loudest slogan in this debate is not power to the people, it is buyer beware. I rest my case. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, there is a saying, a beautiful presentation deserves a beautiful summary. I have mounted this podium once again to present a decent summary of the cogent points my supporting speaker and I raised in affirming the motion quote, MMDCEs should be elected. Point 1, we argue that election of MMDCEs will solve the winner-takes-it-all crisis we face in Ghana. Point 2, we argue that election of MMDCEs will make the leaders accountable to the citizens they lead. Point 3, we argue that election of MMDCs will fulfill the true mandate of the 1992 Constitution. Point 4, we argue that election of MMDCs will reviewed local revenue mobilization, which is now collapsing. Point 5, we argue that election of MMDCs will promote gender equality. Point 6, we argue that election of MMDCs will eradicate local financial malfeasance. Point 7, we argue that election of MMDCs will align to the local projects with actual community needs. Point 8, we argue that election of MMDCs will end the violent agitation over import community nomination. Panel of judges, at this juncture, permit me to rebut certain fallacies my opponent may mounted this podium to assert. In my opponent's point number 1, I mean Louisa, her point number 1, he argued and mentioned a lot of sources, which means the source carries evidence, but she didn't tender in any evidence to buttress her claim. Meanwhile, the rule of this game states, he who asserts must prove, and she didn't prove her evidence. Again, they talk about NDC and MPP battle. We do not mean NDC and MPP battle in electing MMDCs. We mean that when we talk about electing MMDCs, we will have private or individual candidates who can also go and contest for the position. The chair of the House, they talk about referendum, but let me take them through the year 2019, where MPP government aligns or proposed that we should do a referendum. When they proposed the referendum was very successful, but due to some sanctions, they told us to put a stop to the referendum. It doesn't mean that electing of MMDCs will bring about referendum, which we cannot afford to partake. We can, but just that we couldn't manage our resources well at that time. Panel of judges, my opponent quoted a lot of articles from a constitution. Meanwhile, they did not tender in the constitution, or let me say, they did not talk about the constitution. Example, I said Article 240 Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution. Instead of her saying 1992 Constitution, she just said article. Meanwhile, we didn't know whether in the Indian Constitution, the US's Constitution, or where Constitution. Panel of judges, my opponent, I mean the supporting speaker, mounted this podium to talk about winners take it all syndrome. I didn't talk about winners take it all syndrome. I said it will help solve the winners take it all crisis, not syndrome. So my opponents, listen as a skill, and you fail to apply that. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent again alluded that election will be expensive when we are to elect our MMDCs. That argument is flawed because the envelope system forced on nominees spent to recruit the leaders. The chair of the House, District Assembly Common Fund is already a stretch because assemblies depend on central government for 95% of funding. Ladies and gentlemen, election is a one-time cost for every 4 years, and corruption, or let me say corruption from appointment of MMDCs is daily. Ladies and gentlemen, let me refresh our minds with the MPP government in the year 2016. They proposed that we should elect our MMDCs instead of appointing them. They did not just end it there. In the year 2019, they published it, or let me say, they gazetted it in the country's document on electing of MMDCs. That didn't end there. In the year 2024, in the manifesto of the NDC government, they also introduced the election of MMDCs, meaning that the two parties, the NDC and the MPP, we call them opposition parties, affirm our stance that we should elect our MMDCs. Now, that is not all. Mr. Kwesi Prempeh, who is the chairperson for the Constitutional Review Committee, also affirmed our stance, saying that we should amend Article 243, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution in order for us to be able to elect our MMDCs. Now, the chair, if all these strong bodies of the country affirm our stance, how on earth will my opponents argue that election of MMDCE is a fallacy? At this juncture, I call all and sundry to rise in one accord with me as we strongly, firmly elect our MMDCE for a development in the nation. Thank you.
My opponents, we did not say that appointing MMDCs are going to be accountable. That is the point you raised, not us. Again, I presented my evidence for my first point. Now, we did not say that election will be expensive. Next time, make your listening well. And now, listen, you can't come here with your own exaggeration and say my supporting speaker and I raised those points. Now, the chair, I stand on all existing protocols. I therefore reiterate all the points my supporting speaker and I raised. 1. MMDC's election could create institutional deadlock and policy conflict between the central government and local executives, especially when the president and the MMDC belong to the opposing political camps. 2. Electing MMDCs could destroy the non-partisan nature of local governance by extending national party rivalry into district and communities development center. 3. MMDC's election could place an additional financial burden on the country because more public funds will be required for electoral officials, logistics, security, transportation, and collation. 4. Electing MMDCs could complicate national security, coordination, and the chain of command because independently elected local executives may face political pressure when implementing national security in Ghana. 5. MMDC's election does not solve the major problem of inadequate fiscal decentralization because changing the method of selecting MMDCs does not automatically increase the financial resources available to the district assemblies. 6. Electing MMDCs could intensify rivalry between MMDCs and members of parliament because both officials would possess electoral mandates and may compete over political influence, development projects, and public recognition. 7. MMDC's election could lead to majority domination and the marginalization of minority groups in districts where one ethnic, religious, social, or political group has a numerical advantage. 8. Electing MMDCs could create endless campaign cycles at the expense of development because local executives may focus increasingly on re-election, political visibility, and projects that attract votes instead of long-term community needs. Now, rebuttals. My opponent talked about reducing grassroots friction. Elections do not eliminate friction, then they multiply it exponentially. Introducing highly competitive, high-stakes local executive election will split families, chieftaincy lines, and neighborhoods into permanent, bitter political factions, creating far more long-term social unrest and localized electoral violence than the occasional brief rejection of a presidential nominee. Now, my opponent, please, next time when we are speaking, listen attentively. Don't come with your own written, exaggerated rebuttal and come here and say, my supporting speaker and I raised it. Meanwhile, we never said something like that. Thank you.
You know what? I was seated there and I was listening to the debate, one after the other. All I kept saying is E. Just like they say on social media, E. And then one will come and say whatever. I'm like, E. Listen, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you truly want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Well, so Amas. Hey, the film they low. Amas. Phobia. All right, so Okonfonoche, let's do this. Okonfonoche. Listen, put your hands together for your own debaters. They've done so well. And I'm very, very sure that those who are listening to us on radio, on Love 99.5, watching us on television, on Joy Prime, Joy Learning, or maybe on our socials on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube are equally excited. Listen, put your hands together for all the debaters who have passed through this afternoon. Hey, Patricia.
David.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, David, just like you said, the moment you hear someone has said something, or then another person comes to say, oh, hello, that's not what you heard. Hey.
I never knew you had WA Constitution plus Incran Constitution.
I know, right? David, how are you?
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm very well. Thanks for asking.
You're always welcome.
Yeah.
You're always welcome. You see, I'm holding very beautiful things.
I was wondering where you went shopping from.
The way you are looking at me there is like you want something, but David, your terms and conditions apply.
Tell me about the terms. Tell me about the conditions.
You work with multimedia, so I cannot dash you any of this beautiful gift that I'm holding right now. Who is ready for the Kel Charcoal Toothpaste Minute? Hey, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the Kel Charcoal Toothpaste Minute? Because when you see me at this particular minute, I am going to give you freebies. Everybody say freebies. Freebies. Are we ready? Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Hey, those people on the left, they are not saying something. Madam, hold this for me, okay? To the left. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Okay, so it means you are ready to win amazing things, and we'll give you a lot of things. Rebecca, are you ready? Should I dash you something? Of course. No, the way you are part of terms and conditions apply. Okay, so let's get to the chase. Or let's cut to the chase. First question. First question, and you receive something nice from me.
Okay.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Give me one property of this toothpaste when you constantly use it. What does it do for you? One answer.
Okay, I saw a hand up behind you.
Where's the behind?
The young lady up there.
Sweetheart, please meet me. Let me see if you can get it right.
A round of applause for her.
My gift.
All right.
So this is the Kel Charcoal Toothpaste Minute, and hey, Rebecca, this is the lady who came to brag about Okonfanochi.
Oh yes.
Let's see what happens at the end of the day. Sweetheart, how are you again?
I'm fine.
You are fine, eh?
Yes, please.
All right, so you heard my question. Give me one answer. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, when you use it morning and evening. In fact, I even use it in the afternoon. What does it do for you?
Anti-cavity.
Please explain that. Say it in a full sentence. You can't give me one line.
Okay, when you use Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, it strengthens your teeth and healthy gums every day. Every happy smile.
You are saying everything. It's okay. Please, let's clap for her. Let me give her this beautiful gift from Samara Company Limited, proud producers of Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Thank you so much. Please clap for her. Hey, who is ready? Who is ready? Okay, so she's giving me more than one, but there's more that Kel Charcoal Toothpaste does for you. So who has the second answer? I see this beautiful lady from Ibadur Rahman. Please come up. Please, let's join me right now. Clap for her. Which of the bags do you like? The pink one or the green one?
Choose the big one. Choose the big one.
You want that?
Choose the big one.
Please, she said she wants the big one.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want the big one, then hey, madam, you've not answered my question. All right, so I also ask you a very big question, quote and unquote. Which company produces Kel Charcoal Toothpaste? You see, she's running away. Hey, you are taking a paw. Hey.
Let me see.
Okay.
Samara Company.
Oh, she got it right. Samara Company Limited.
A round of applause for her.
You are leaving without the bag. Okay, please clap for her as she's receiving her gift. Hey, the way you are not clapping, there's like you are not happy for her.
Why? Are you jealous?
I know. Okay, third question.
Third question.
Where can you get Kel Charcoal Toothpaste to buy? Where can you get Kel Charcoal Toothpaste to buy?
This one is easy.
Yeah.
This one is easy.
Where can you get Kel Charcoal toothpaste to buy?
Patricia, this answer
Where?
deserves 2 bags.
Okay,
This
this one
answer
deserves
deserves
2 bags.
2 bags.
Okay, so where can you get Kel Charcoal toothpaste to buy?
Where?
Rebecca, who
Okay, so let's pick this lady here.
from Tia Media. Please
That's
clap
right.
for her. Please join me right now.
Oh.
Where can you get Kel Charcoal toothpaste to buy? Oh, don't worry, the bags are 2, so the 2 of you can
Yeah,
come.
the 2 of you
Let's
can
clap
go.
for them. Where can you get Kel Charcoal toothpaste to buy? Very simple, easy question. Yes, answer 1.
You can get Kel Charcoal toothpaste to buy in a nearby store.
Okay, so that's the first answer. Sweetheart, you too.
If you want Kel
Charcoal toothpaste.
If you want
pressure,
you can
allow.
purchase in provision stores to get it.
Let's clap for them. So you can get it in bulk purchase and also at that supermarket close to you. So I have 3 more to go.
Patricia, can we try the patrons too?
They are hiding there. The
Yes,
patrons
let's
are
not
hiding.
leave them out of this.
Please, Okonfanochi patron, Ibadur Rahman patron, Tia patron, and where's my other school? Please, patrons, this question is for you. We understand you people have all the. Please, let's clap for the man from Okonfanochi. Boss, you are live on radio and live on TV. We are all listening to your answer. Which regulatory body of government has approved Kel Charcoal toothpaste?
The FDA.
What's the full word for FDA? Full meaning?
Food and Drugs Authority.
Okay, he got that right. So let me give you this. Hey, all right, sir. Thank you so much. Kamara, I want to take the rest away.
Patricia,
I want to
just
take the
like
rest
me,
away.
you know, right from the studio, you are Thames. I am conditions. David here is apply. So you are not part of this.
Okay, so I have 4 more. Patrons, are you still there?
Yes, they are
here.
here.
Okay. I see TZ from TI Amas.
Yeah,
and my friends from Ibadur Rahman. Which school am I missing again? With the patron that I'm missing, please.
Mankranso
Senior High School. Please show yourself. Very simple, easy questions for the Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Minutes. Now, the next question is: hey, should I allow them to give us the address for Samara Company? Okay, no. Let me still go back to the property. So, what else does Kel Charcoal toothpaste does for anybody or all of us when we use it? So, who's coming? Which patron is coming?
TZ.
Which patron? One is where? Okay, let's go to this gentleman. And, okay, so please come. Let's clap for him. There are lots of things that Kel Charcoal toothpaste does for everybody. Yes, there's a lot that Kel Charcoal toothpaste does for everybody. So, tell me.
Let me take the item first.
Hey, you're a politician, oh. Okay, so let's hear you.
All right, good breath.
Oh, and I can smell it from here. Thank you so much. Now, Becca, I'm going to take the rest away, but I want us to do a very simple exercise. Can we all bring out our Kel Charcoal toothpaste? Can we all bring it out? Yes, bring it out. Let me see your Kel Charcoal toothpaste.
Wave it.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Please, who doesn't have one? Eee. Okay, so this is a very simple exercise. You know, during COVID, a lot of people use social media to show us how to do things. So this afternoon, I'm going to show everyone how to open Kel Charcoal toothpaste. I mean, you all don't know how to do that. So I'm showing you today. So can we all raise it? Can we all raise our Kel Charcoal toothpaste? Yes, the beautiful packaging, I must say. So you hold the tip like this, the orange tip like this. Then you open it. Then you see a very nice seal there. Aluminium foil. What it means is that it is quality, and it has not been tampered with. Okay, so when you are ready to use your toothpaste, you just look for somewhere you can just pinch the hole. All right, can we all pinch it? Hey, no, say.
Hey.
All right, so don't worry. I'm going to pinch mine. Please, okay, let me use my ring. Okay, so I've actually pinched it, and this is how Kel Charcoal toothpaste looks like. You see how nice it comes out?
Ow.
Thank you for holding it. I'll give you one back. Please clap for her. Don't worry. Tomorrow we'll bring a toothbrush and we'll brush our teeth here. Please, David, are we ready with the results? And I remember you have it.
Almost. But for now, we'd like to say a very big thank you to all of our sponsors.
Rebecca, please let me taste the thing. The thing is nice. Oh.
Patricia, this is not for hey.
Oh no, it's very, very nice. It tastes like, you see, it has fresh mint bamboo flavor.
It does.
Please don't put it in bread.
Tempting,
put it on your toothpaste.
but don't do it. Tempting, but don't do it.
Please take it away.
All right, we'd like to say a very big thank you to Seppo Mystical Pen. Do you have your pens with you? Do you have your pens with you? Wave them. Wave them. How many of you have written letters to your alaya? Do you guys have alaya today? Do you have pen pals? Do you have pen pals? Or you don't have pen pals? Please say you have pen pals. Don't make me feel so old. You do? Do you write to them? And I hope you use Seppo Mystical Pens. You do? A round of applause for yourselves. Write effortlessly with Seppo Mystical Original Pens. Enjoy smooth, precise, smudge-free lines every time. Get yours today in blue, black, or red. You can locate Seppo products at Paul Sego Lane, Kumasi, and Okaishi, Accra for bulk purchases. Seppo Mystical Original Pen, we say your number one choice for premium writing. Now, everywhere make hot, but still man for enjoy. For your parties, funerals, family day outs, and any social gathering, grab your favorite Bigo drink today. Bigo comes in cola, grape, orange, cocktails, pineapple, apple, and lemon flavors. Get a chilled, affordable bottle of Bigo at any supermarket or even in traffic. Bigo is another quality product from Trillium Industrial Company Limited. Bigo, we say big, refreshing moments. And a very big thank you also going out to Didishito Homemade Taste, Vena Mineral Water, which is recommended by the Ghana Medical Association. And again, we say a very big thank you to New Generation Investment Services, that is NGIS, which is offering managed investments, assist with pension planning, and manages Tier 2 and Tier 3 pensions. Secure your future with our Enidaso Mutual Fund, NGIS Money Market Fund, and private funds. You can also speak to our seasoned advisors today about your investment goals and aspirations. NGIS is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. NGIS achieving excellent returns on your investments. And again, Otua Sekai Community Bank has the right account just for you. We have current, savings, fixed deposit, SUSU, and infant savings accounts. Enjoy affordable salary, SUSU, business, funeral, group loans, and more at very low interest rates. We also offer Western Union, eSwitch, iTrans, mobile money, and Ghana Pay services. Locate Otua Sekai Community Bank at Kofiase, Mampong, Ejura, Sepebo Chrome, Apofo, Macro, Ekenkenso, Swami Market, and Dr. Mensa. Otua Sekai Community Bank, your savior in community banking. And another one going out to J.M. Ado and Sons, producers of Alpha Folic Acid, Borges Olive Oil, and Womplex 400. And lastly, on my list, do I have it? Okay, I think that will be all for now. That will be all for now. Patricia or David? All right, so before we move on, to the results, Obiniyem, who is winning the contest today? Which schools are going home victorious today? All right, you know what we're going to do? Is Mankranso here? Or they're outside? Okay, Real Amas, I need you to rise to your feet and give us some jama for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Can you do this for us? Can you do this for us? A round of applause for them. A round of applause for them. Clap for them. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes.
Okay, and when we are done, Okonfanochi will give us their own destiny. After Okonfanochi, we'll go to We'll go to our friends from Mankranso Senior High School, and our friends from Ibadur Rahman Academy will also do us the honors. Kel Chaco toothpaste.
Happy smile.
I still have 2 bags to give away.
Amasphobia, are you ready?
They're ready.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Intellectuals. TI is the school of intellectuals. TI am a phobia. TI am a phobia. TI am a phobia. TI is the school of intellectuals. TI is the school of intellectuals.
All right, Amasphobia, thank you so much. A round of applause for them. A round of applause for them. Somebody say heat. 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 Are you ready? Are you ready? When I ask you, are you ready? I want to hear ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? On your feet.
Okay. Okonfanochi Senior High School.
Whoa. Patricia, you seem lost. Are you
I'm
okay?
actually lost. You guys have to find me right now. I don't know. I'm just out like that. Okay.
So you cannot see anybody. And your fans know. My Mankranso also you want to say. Some people come for nothing. Num pesa itobia. Some people be on many. And you call baby. And I need you. I am Babani. No madam Musali. Quali, you will see Branati, Ramses Oti, Abra Bresta Soloki, some got and T Kono, oh, come for not Kono, some of our come for not Numbers Itobia. They want to go talk, you don't want to go Hey, one time we don't for see.
Kachonia say, hey, Patricia. The way we used to do our drama back in school, it looks like things have changed.
Yes, a lot has changed, Rebecca.
Hey! Somebody say heat. Active. Hey, David.
Oh goodness.
David.
This is so beautiful. Mankranso, are we ready? Mankranso Senior High School, are we ready? Hey. I only hear 3 people, Rebecca.
So, Patricia, please indulge me.
Okay,
Patricia,
David,
indulge
take it
me.
away.
Where's the young man from Okonfanochi? Where is he?
He's right here.
Listen. Patricia, you have your attention.
Oh, sure.
All right, so give him the microphone again.
Absolutely.
We need your own. Many
papa, many
pa.
Sabe pepe.
We that's it. Sorry, my another one.
Yes, I'm coming. Yes, I'm coming. Some people come for nothing. Mente. Some people come for nothing. Numpesa itobia. Some people be a maniati. And you call baby. And I need you. I want one. This is for I am Babani. Wamada Musare, Okafuanoti Koli, you was Supranoti, Ramsia Sawa Oti, Abba bless us all one time, see, from mama, I believe a mama. Baby, Miss Van Mama, baby, Miss Van Mama, baby, Miss Van Mama, it's a kono, say, kono. Thank you. Listen, a round of applause for him. He just made the whole place lighting up some more. Thank you. Patricia.
David.
Which school is next?
You know what? Before we even go to the next school, he says he has a very special one for our friends from Kel Chaco Toothpaste. Washishe Bibi, Edema Kel Chaco Toothpaste.
Oya kola bonepa. Opache dientia. Oya kola bonepa.
So David, are we ready to hear the Kel Chaco Toothpaste one he's done?
Sure.
All right, let's hear you.
Bibi, in Penifose, as in you can cheat. Kel Chaco, so person Sifia. Now, see, come. And he's Kel Chaco. Casa Kel Chaco. It's a Kel Chaco. I say Kel Chaco. It's a Kel Chaco. I say Chaco, taco, and the Chaco, one time with a Chaco, what I say.
All right.
But you know something. Listen, I am happy and I'm excited about what you do. But please don't also play with your books. Take your books seriously, okay? We love what you're doing. But your books is the most important thing because that's why you're in school. Please, one more time, show him some love. Thank you. Patricia, Amabonsu.
I'm right here.
Do we have any other school to give us a morale or an announce?
Mankranso Senior High School, they are in the building to also give us Mankranso. Can you come around? Yes, please let's clap for Mankranso Senior High School. Hey, Jama leader, no worry. Where's the Jama leader? Come over, please hurry up. Mankranso Senior High School, let's hear you. Let's have your Jama. They say the fewer the merrier. So don't worry, we are here for you, Anything at all. Mankranso, please let's clap for them again.
We've got 2 more minutes to go, so please do it within 2 minutes.
Hurry up. Let's do this. Mankranso Senior High School. Initially when you mentioned Mankranso, I heard them say Adeboyefo. How do you refer to what? Okay, so then let's see how expensive you ladies and gentlemen are. All right, Chappie. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Now we see M. Now we see A. Now we see N. Now we see S. Now we see E. Now we see C. Now we see A. Now we see A. And sec.
All right, so thank you. So on behalf of all our sponsors, also on behalf of the Ashanti Regional SRC, on behalf of the Conference of Heads of our sister secondary schools, on behalf of the Ashanti Regional Education Service, we say thank you very much for being part of today's contest. That's contest 3 and contest 4. The results are in. The very first contest was between Mankranso Senior High School and Ibadur Rahman Academy. The motion was ECG should be privatized. Mankranso were for the motion. Ibadur Rahman Academy were against the motion. Mansec, are they here? Or they're outside? This is their result, so they should be listening to it.
Because they were for the motion, I'll go through their results first. And we already told you that we have a majority decision and we have a unanimous decision. A majority decision means that 2 out of the 3 judges scores for the winning school. Unanimous decision means that all 3 judges scored for the winning school. The results. Mankranso Senior High School. When it comes to organization and clarity, 1 judge scored for you 16. Another scored 22. The last judge scored 24. 16, 22, 24 amounts to 62. When it comes to argument and development, Mankranso Senior High School, a judge scored for you 17. Another scored 21. The other 25. 17, 21, 25, sums up to 63. Effective use of rebuttal, Mankranso. 1 judge gave you 10, another 6, the other 8. 10, 6, 8 amounts to 24. Presentation style, Mankranso. A judge gave you 7, another judge gave you 5, the other 10. 7, 5, 10 sums up to 22. By way of role as a particular debater, a judge scored 4, another scored 4, the other also scored 6. 4, 4, 6 sums up to 14. So let's go through the tally. 62, 63, 24, 22, 14 sums up to 185 for Mankranso. Ibadur Rahman. Organization and clarity, you got 26 from a judge, 20 from another, and 26 from the other. 26, 20, 26 amounts to 72. Argument and development. Argument and development. 1 judge gave you 26, the other gave you 20, the last judge gave 24. 26, 20, 24 sums up to 70. Effective use of rebuttal. Ibadur Rahman, you got 7, 10, and 8 from all the 3 judges. So 7, 10, and 8 sums up to 25. Presentation style, Ibadur Rahman, you got 10 from a judge, 10 from the other, and then 5 from the other. So 10, 10, 5 sums up to 25. Then let's talk about role as a particular debater. You got 8 from a judge, 6 from another judge, and 4 from the other. So 8, 6, 4 sums up to 18. Let's put it together. 72, 70, 25, 25, 18 sums up to 210. So with a majority decision, Ibadur Rahman have qualified for the next stage of the competition. Mankranso Senior High School, better luck next time. Now, Ibadur Rahman, once you're jubilating, sing for us your school anthem very quickly. I know school anthem is long, but give us a brief or short school anthem. Counting down. 1, 2, 3, your anthem. Thank you. Put your hands together for your own selves. Thank you. Thank you. The second contest of the day, that was contest 4, was between T.I. Amas and Okonfa-Noche. The motion was MMDCEs should be elected. T.I. Amas, they were for the motion. Okonfa-Noche, they were against the motion. I'll begin with the results for the school that was for the motion. T.I. Amas. Settle down, please. Thank you. Organization and clarity, T.I. Amas, you got 26 from a judge, 25 from another, and 20. So 26, 25, 20 sums up to 71. Argument and development, T.I. Amas, you got 26 from a judge, 22 from another, the other gave you 20. 26, 22, 20 sums up to 68. Effective use of rebuttal, a judge gave you 9, another 7, the last judge gave you 10. 9, 7, 10 sums up to 26. Presentation style, TIMAS, a judge gave you 11. One other judge gave you 6. Another 12. 11. 6. 12. Sums up to 29. Role as a particular debater, TIMAS, a judge gave you 7. Another gave you 6. The other one also gave you 6. 7. 6. 6. Sums up to 19. Let's put them together. 71. 68. 26. 29. 19. Sums up to 213. That of Okonfanochi Senior High School, same style, organization and clarity. A judge gave you 19, the other gave you 26, the final judge gave you 23. 19, 26, 23, sums up to 68. Argument and development, one judge gave you Okonfanochi Senior High School 19, the other gave you 22, the other gave you 21. 19, 22, 21, put it together, you get 62. Effective use of rebuttal, Okonfanochi, one judge gave you 9, the other gave you 6, the other one gave you 4. 9, 6, 4, sums up to 19. Presentation style, Okonfanochi Senior High School, one judge decided to give you 11, the other gave you 5, the other gave you 9. 11, 5, 9, sums up to 25. Then roll as a particular debater, you got 6 from a judge, 6 from another judge, 6 from another judge, 18. So let's put it all together. 68, 62, 19, 25, 18, sums up to 192. So with a unanimous decision, TIMAS have advanced or qualified for the next stage of the competition. On behalf of the judges, we say thank you very much to our, of course, patron and the chairperson, Mrs. Theodosia Jackson. We say thank you very much as well. Now, Madam, join me. Mrs. Theodosia Jackson, join me. A few words from you wouldn't be bad. Now, before TIMAS, hold on. Before we cross over to the foyer, let me give our mother, the patron, and the chairman 2 minutes to address us all.
Hello. Hello. Whether you have won or not, it's a competition. And by all means, even the World Cup, which country won? Which country won the World Cup? They didn't fight on the field. So with the results, please be humble. No teasing of a school. Let your jubilation be anointed. That's how I can put it. If you also lost, losing a debate is not losing a life battle. Next time you will come. Even for the fact that you came to this stage, clap for yourselves. You have done so well. You have done so well. And listening to the marks, there weren't any vast difference that a school had 50 and another had 250. No, you are more or less apart. So all of you have done very well. I wouldn't end all the teachers here. My university is running master's degree for 1 year. Postgraduate diploma in education for 1 year. We've been graduating students. It's not bragging or anything. We walk our talk. So please tell your colleagues, if even you have a degree and you don't have education and you are teaching, one day it will affect you. So when I get out, or if you have a phone, take this number, 0201. You can also take it and give it to your friends, your relatives, your mommies, daddies, and so on. The number is 0201 260 290. 0201 260 290. The last but not the least, have you heard that HIV/AIDS has got wings and is flying very high? Who has said it? Hands up. So take very good care of yourselves. Do you hear me? You said we have not heard of it. Ashanti region, we are topping. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. In Tako, you have been given tablets in school. What do you use the tablets for? No. Porno at night. Don't tell me learning. You don't even use it for learning. A parent collapsed when she saw what was in the child's tablet. You don't learn. My son is a teacher in a secondary school in Kumasi. He says, Mommy, I even gave a sentence on the board and the student couldn't read it. Every minute of your lives, you are with this tablet. Now, a year now saying, I am a Desamu Amaka saying, now, dear Enye, no one names a best say Wodachi. A Jamai Bibi anymore. A Jamai no Bibi any. Obi catch the wa was Mrs. Jackson say, a Jamai no Bibi any. Monto Bobo. Monto Bobo, where Jamai no, when Yamin Shram.
Well, thank you very much. Tomorrow we shall bring to you contest 4 and contest 6. No, contest 5 and 6 tomorrow. Contest 5 and 6. But for now, we say thank you very much for being a very good audience. Patricia Amabozu, it's your turn. Take it away.
Sure, David, thank you so much. And we have come to the end of contest 3 and contest 4 of the Love FM Charcoal Toothpaste High Schools debate, the preliminary stage here at the Christian Service University. And at the end of the 2 contests that we had today, Ibadur Rahman Academy and Tia Media have made it to the main competition. And so they joined the likes of Kumasi Wesley Girls Senior High School and also Church of Christ Senior High School. So like you said, tomorrow we're going to have contest 5 and contest 6. And I have already here in my shots the winners from the first competition. Ladies here who represented their school.
Okay, I am happy, but I am not happy yet because the game is not over.
Yeah. I thought you attend the results. So.
Nah, they are boarding for. We are equally the noble, so equal chance deserves better. Thank you.
I see. Lady also from Ibadur Rahman even you.
I was expecting us to win. God is still good, and we won. Yeah, we struggle, we learn, we rehearse, so we have to win. Yeah.
One thing I can assure you is that now that you've gone to the main competition, you are going to meet semi-finalists, including, of course, defending champions, Prempeh College, Kumasi High School, KNUST Senior High School, and St. Louis High School. As patrons, what is the plan?
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity given us. As patrons, everyone, that we are not just in the competition, we are in it to win it. Therefore, we are not going to relax at all. We're going to put another step to our and so victory comes home.
Nice one, victory comes home. And let me speak finally to this gentleman from Ibadur Rahman Academy. We spoke even before the debate started, and you said a few words. What was that thing that pushed you to say all the things that you said?
Initially, I told everybody that I wanted everybody to go enjoy themselves. But
thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debate championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High Schools Debate is in partnership with the Ashanti